Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to live coverage of BeeTV. It's a double header today at Nottingham Hockey Centre. It's Beeston versus Bowdon in the Investec Women's Premier Division. Match starting at 12 o'clock today. Conditions a little bit blowy, but otherwise all good for the match. And there are two today. It is Beeston versus Bowdon first. At 2 o'clock, it's the turn of the men. Beeston's men take on Exeter University. Both games full of intrigue given the positions in the tables that all the teams feature. We'll give you a more full introduction in a few minutes' time. You can see the teams warming up. The umpires making their way across the field, doing their final preparations. It's just me for the first game today. We're experiencing a few difficulties getting the information to you, so we're a bit short on information. What I can tell you that is a fact is yesterday's result. Beeston went down the road to Loughborough and they were defeated by 1-0, which puts the level of importance of this game up a few notches as well. So 2 games in 2 days for Beeston. Bowdon have had the benefit of a day off as well, so they're coming into the game fresh. I think what we will do is we'll have a quick look at the match highlights from the recent game. I think we're looking at Clifton Robinson's last weekend when they visited here at Nottingham Hockey Centre, and this is the way that game played out when we get to quarter time.
You see 2 Beeston forwards there. The ball played nicely through. It was a nice release from the back. So important for forwards to get on the ball, make sure they retain it.
Being kept in at the baseline. Penalty. Nice interception in the middle of the field and played forward, and things can open up here quickly. Into the circle. A bit of a stumble, but play carries on. Goalkeeper comes out and it's into the goal.
Excellent
Toby
follow-up.
Stanley for Beeston. We've got our first goal in less than 5 completed.
Well, he was a younger guy. He was more of a forward, but he's settled into these defensive roles quite well.
He picked up a, let's just break off again, that's into the circle. Can this be fashioned into a shooting opportunity? It's been blocked well.
Simon Hudgewan alert to that.
Indeed, he's like can be like a metronome, just keeps everything moving, keeps moves ticking over. A little bit of stick to stick here, but running with it is Hayden Phillips.
This is dangerous, this. Phillips
has found a teammate, blocked with the pads, and that's a penalty corner.
Yeah, it's a similar thing really. That's been a set. Well, I think there's always a tendency to go for Mark Glencorn when he's on because he's so dominant and able with this. So I suspect they'll do the same again.
It is Banderak this time, low and in, and that is the equalising goal.
You're quite right, Sandy. So you see that by changing that, they've given themselves a
21.5 minutes played.
Corners are obviously going to be dangerous if they're given to Holcombe, so something Beeston needs to be really careful about.
This is promising. It's gone a long way. Is there a pass? There's a big shovel off the ball there, and an appeal towards
well, I thought
when the 2 players who are close to a dropping aerial ball, and seeing how the decisions go.
Yes.
I'm trying to see how more often that goes. Into the circle, Beeston are again. Is this a shooting opportunity? It's very close. Great goalkeeping.
That was really good goalkeeping. I think that was a really close opportunity.
I wouldn't mind seeing that again, but probably at half time, I think.
Yeah.
And that looked pretty much nailed on for a second Beeston goal as we break off again. Played in, and that is a second for Holcombe.
Very good goal. Robert Field, I think.
Options there, although it only finds a red stick. Appeal from the Holcombe defence. And Holcombe do have numbers here, and they progress quickly through the field. It's with Kieran O'Connor. O'Connor thinks he's found a foot, and he has. Morgan Mayall's penalised.
This is the danger of that. Bobbling that ball into the D can be as difficult as any other kind of pass. Difficult for defenders to get hold of.
Advantage being played, and that is a third for Holcombe on the stroke of half-time.
Really?
Yes. Joe Sharp is number 12, so that is Joe Sharp, number 12.
Yeah.
There we go. So that's just a confirmation of what was going on. And that's a fourth for Holcombe. How quickly was that into the back of the net?
And that's Harry Trussler again. I mean, he's obviously for that other code of the game. I think it's great for individual skills, team connections, and the way that teams work together. Here we go.
That is another one for Beeston.
That's Toby Stanley again.
Second for Toby Stanley.
Able to play like this in an earlier part of the game, but of course it's what's happening in the match that dictates how players react.
Indeed.
That should be a Beeston.
It is
free
indeed.
Hit.
They're trying to take it quickly, and
That's
I think that's a foot, and it is.
Benefits of a quick restart there. Holcombe have just lost that edge a little bit enough time in the game, so this becomes quite an important corner for Beeston.
Okay, so we saw Males a few moments ago. Dixon is still hovering around the outside. It's Dixon this time. And it is there.
Now we do have an interesting 9 minutes, 8 minutes.
Adam Dixon with the goal. Control in the air.
Again, another one. Just
Tom Moore.
Too careless. That pass is just not strong enough.
And that's a penalty corner for the offence on Tom Moore outside of the circle. So that was the way that it finished yesterday for the men. Beeston versus a very entertaining Holcombe side that came away with all 3 points. You can see it's a sunny day here at Nottingham Hockey Centre. Birds flying around in the distance. Umpires are almost ready to go. The team's getting their final instructions. It's a very, very important day in the Investec Women's Premier Division. You can see Surbiton are top of the table with 40 points. Our attention is looking at the bottom. Now that is a little bit of a false impression. Bowdon Hightown on 12 points according to that table, but they have been deducted 3 points. So a win for Bowdon Hightown today would put them level with Beeston. A win for Beeston would ease a few of those relegation worries which are still lingering around. Elsewhere today, we've got matches at 12, of course here, 12:30, 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock. 12:30, Birmingham University Loughborough Students, that's a big one. East Grinstead, Hampstead and Westminster, 2 of the teams in the top 4 going head-to-head there. Clifton Robinson's Buckingham at 1 o'clock and Surbiton Holcombe. Action everywhere you look today. Teams almost ready to go. So we'll welcome the teams in a few moments' time. I think the teams are ready to go. One thing we don't know, unfortunately, is the match day 16s. So that's why we're unable to bring you the team information live, and that's why we're unable to get it to you on the screen. So moments away from the start, we know how important it is for both teams today. I'm sure there's going to be quite a few familiar faces on both sides. I know there's been some bad results go both ways for both teams recently. It's a chance for both teams to get 3 very, very important points together on the board. So once again, I don't know the match day 16s, and you'll be finding out as much as I do as we work our way through the games. So you can see certainly the back of Lauren Burrell there, number 9. Number 11, Rebecca Walker, making a second appearance of the season. You can see that Bowdon are in their huddle, getting their final instructions. Emma Rainey, number 14, number 16, Erica Morris. And so that is it. I think we're about set and ready to go. So it will be Beeston starting the game. So let's, without further ado, let's get the play underway. Conditions certainly a lot better than they were 24 hours ago or so, but it's still very blustery. It's a much more pleasant day to be outside, I can assure you. Beeston attacking the boulevard end, so left to right, and Beeston in the dark shirts. Bowdon in their change white shirts today, attacking the car park, so they're playing from right to left. Beeston moving forward quickly already. Attack breaks down, and Bowdon moving quickly through the gears along the right hand side. Almost intercepted. Sean French there for Bowdon on the ball now. Decides to leave it. Diagonal ball taken nicely into space. Played out to Lucy Tennant on the left-hand side of Bowdon. Plays the ball into the circle. It's touched behind. And that's the first long corner of the game. Sideways on the restart. Jane Donnelly is number 5 for Bowdon. Intercepted by Paige Gillett. Played backwards and across the circle. Looking for a route out. Being picked up by Katie McKee. McKee loses possession. And Bowdon build from the midfield. And it's been intercepted again. Long burst of the whistle from the umpire indicates it's a Beeston ball. Beeston not hanging about, getting it on quickly. A little bit of a nudge, and that's a run forward from Myrie Drummond. Drummond into space, moving towards the circle. The ball has just been nudged out of play. Long corner it is for the home side. Crunched into the circle. Loose ball played in and just wide of the upright. It didn't get a touch on the way through. It will be a Bowdon ball. That's the first real scoring opportunity with 2.25 minutes gone. Long ball out of defence, straight out of play. Beeston ball. A reminder, it is 4 quarters of 17.5 minutes here in Investec Women's Premier Division Hockey, same as the men. Early goals have been a high price for Beeston. The 2 earliest goals they've scored were both last week against Clifton Robinson, so an early goal would be very precious. Of course, Bowdon doing everything they can to stop that. It's in a good position for the hosts. It's towards the baseline and into the circle. Long corner indicates the umpire. It does look beautiful out on the camera. It's a couple of degrees cooler than you would have liked. Myrie Drummond plays it backwards. Get up with the ball into the circle, and it's through everyone. Bowdon have a turnover ball. Controlled out the back from Sam Mayers, as you'd probably expect from an Olympic gold medalist. That's good battling for the ball. Ruby Apula just in front of your camera here. Lucy Tennant plays it back. Good pressure this from Beeston, although Bowdon do have an outlet on the right hand side. Taking the opportunity to play the ball along, and it's come off Bowdon stick. Beeston sideline ball just in front of the benches. You can just see Myrie Drummond making her way off with the initial substitutions for Beeston, keeping the turnover of players. Unlimited substitutions, of course. Sean French. Nudged forward. Bowdon Hightown have the ball. Self-pass, played towards the circle. Pops up, play on, says the umpire, closest to the action. This is a good opportunity for Bowdon here. Still not out of harm's way, and that's the first penalty corner of the game. Backstick is the call. Nikki Cochran in the Beeston goal, making herself very difficult to pass there, and the umpire was right on it. Interesting formation around the circle, played in, and that's wide of the goal. So first penalty corner of the game goes to the away side. Nothing coming from it. Rubia Pula on the side of the field. Good tussle for the ball, and Bowdon have it, and in the circle, shooting opportunity, and that is the opening goal of the game. Fired high into the net. Bowdon have the lead. Let's have a look at the replay here. It was a possession given away. The run, making space for herself, and the shot. Lovely finish on the reverse side, high into the goal. Goal scorer number 12 for Bowdon. That is Beth Alexander. Second goal of the season for her. So the away side have the advantage. Big, big, big goal in the context of this game. Ball spread out on the left-hand side. It goes into the circle, defended well from Bowdon. It looks like the away side have possession here. Now, can the home side build and work their way back into this game? Things are breaking nicely here. With it, Harriet Dugan. Ball's in the circle. Solid defensive work. Taking the ball off Addis Huddleston there. And Bowdon have possession again. Very congested middle of the field at the moment. Jess Hood there has potentially lost her stick, but it's okay. Bowdon have the ball. Crisp passing, releases Lucy Tennant. Tennant looks up, tries to find a teammate, and does do. Although it's off at the side for a Beeston ball. 10 minutes played, Beeston 0, Bowdon 1. Beth Alexander's goal, the difference so far. Still an hour's worth of match to play. Anything can still happen. Beeston through Dugan, looking to go through the middle. Checks back, maintains possession after a fashion. Things are building down the left-hand side for the home side. Been mopped up nicely by Julie Whiting, number 19 of Bowdon there. Aerial ball from the sideline. Finds a teammate very well indeed. It has been stolen by the Bees. And things are opening up here. Moving quickly through the field. And again, Bowdon equal to that attack and come away with the ball themselves. Emma Rainey, number 14, doing enough to win the sideline ball for Bowdon. The wayside having plenty of space here. It has been stolen and Beeston can break here in numbers. Held up neatly though by Sean French, not allowing that time on the ball and allowing the defenders to get back into place. That's been knocked out of play by Senna Hughes. Beeston looking to play down this near sideline. Looking for where the restart's going to be taken here. Very good one-on-one battles with the ball. Beeston have come away with it. Trying to break quickly. Tara Aitchison though. Possession back. Mare's ball, good. First time ball, touched into the circle and through the other side. Whilst we're waiting for play to restart, the match official information says that number 7 is Lucy Tennant. However, for Bowdon, it says that it's a player with McNaught on their back. So that's interesting. I wonder if we can get a bit of clarification from the technical table on that one. And we have the first green card of the game. Rosie Stevens has been shown the green card. So it's a 2-minute temporary suspension. Already a goal up, and now they're a player up for the short term. Long corner for Bowdon. Beeston really haven't got their teeth into this game yet. Bowdon very much in control. Good step in from the Beeston defence. Kept in play here. And with it, Lauren Burrell. Direct to goal, plays the ball towards the circle. Could this be a shooting opportunity? It's been dragged wide. Beeston on the front foot trying to win the ball back. Bowdon doing a very good job of maintaining possession and not gifting possession back to Beeston. So our first quarter time break is coming up on 17.5 minutes. It's never too soon to remind you of the ways to get in touch, particularly if you want to nominate a player of the match. Still plenty of things to happen, but I'd like to let you know the way to do that. Tweet us at @officialBHC. Confirmation that Beeston are now back up to 11 players, so that suspension has been played out. So close to a run towards the circle, but the umpire has found in favour of Beeston. Things just aren't happening for the home side here. You feel the next goal would be coming from the away side. That said, Beeston looking to bring it down the right-hand side. This is a strong run from Jess Hood. Can she reach it first? No, she can't. Umpire right on it has indicated long corner. Credit to Jess Hood there for not giving up. Played into the circle. Pops up. It's still live in the circle. Mares has it. Finds a teammate. Good block. And Katie McKee. McKee into the circle. And that's a free hit just outside the circle. In fact, that is quarter time. No time to take that no time to take that free hit. So quickly a reminder of the latest in this game. It is Beeston 0, Bowdon 1. And the goal coming from Beth Alexander, the difference of the two sides. Elsewhere, we're about to, we're still waiting for the start of the other games. Birmingham University Loughborough Students and East Grinstead Hampstead of Westminster. They're starting at 12:30 today. 1 o'clock starting Clifton Robinson's Buckingham and Surbiton Holcombe. The later games starting at 2 o'clock. So a reminder of the position. Bowdon Hightown, a win for them today would put them level on points with Beeston. The reason why you're seeing them level on points at the moment is that's not taking into account a points deduction. So that would be a 12 teams would be level on points should Bowdon win today. So the teams making their way out for the second quarter of the game. It will be Beeston to get us going again. Tara Aitchison with the ball. Nice pass, finding Katie McKee. McKee, who's been quite bright so far in this game, and she's doing well here. She's won a free hit, takes it quickly, fires the ball into the circle. Shooting chance, it's wide of the goal. It's still live though. Bowdon do very well to see the ball out of harm's way. Ball's right by the corner flag though, and they do have a free hit which will certainly ease the pressure. Free hit for Bowdon now. Play on, a big shout from the umpire. Firm stick blocks the route to goal. Two on two at the moment. Really battling for it. Tara Aitchison from the Beeston side. Bowdon have the free hit. And it's out at the side. I think that hit the foot as well. So it's going to be another Bowdon ball. Along the right-hand sideline and out of play through the other end. Looking at the umpire's indication, Beeston have possession of the ball. Bowdon looking the more composed of the two sides so far. Quickly forward. And that attack fizzles out from Beeston as well. Bit of buffeting. Sees another Bowdon free hit. Now this is broken kindly, and it's fired across the circle and out through the other side. Looks like Nicky Cochran has a stack of balls behind there, anticipating. But we are going back to the original ball. Not entirely sure why, but we are. Played forward, good diving interception from Jane Donnelly, wins the ball back for Bowdon, and they will have a free hit here. Goalkeeper is coming out to talk to the umpire. All right, Alice Huddleston has been shown the green card. Trying to warn everybody, and there's another stop here, and there's an injury on the field. I think that's number 30, Paige Gillett, who's been hit by the ball. Play resumes. Mares. Ball's in the circle again. Bees swarming into defence. Yeah, that looks like suffering no ill effects from that connection with the ball. It's turned over again in the middle of the field. Bowdon look like they've got so much time in defence. They can find that pass, find that route forward. As I say that, free hit for Bowdon. And another free hit for Bowdon. Now, certainly the team that are making things happen. Quick ball into the circle. And it didn't get a touch. Beeston ball. Weather watch. Looks like we're due a little bit of wet in the next half an hour or so. It's gone very dark to our right hand side. You can see that that cloud there, so that's worth keeping an eye on. Beeston have won possession back here. Looking for support. Kim Leaper does very well indeed to find Jess Hood. Hood towards the baseline, puts the ball into the circle. It's connected and picked up. That's a free hit for Beeston. Now, rather than going too quickly, they are being considerate here. Kim Leaper. And things haven't gone their way. That's well intercepted. Rosie Stevens finds a teammate. Things are starting to come together a little in the last couple of moments for Beeston. Here's 52, Ruby Apula. Chips the ball out to the right-hand side. It is a Beeston ball. So our next break will be on 35 minutes for half-time. Apula plays the ball towards the baseline. Beeston starting to build a little bit of a head of steam here. They've got another free hit. Options for Apula here. Coming up to join her, Myri Drummond. Drummond receives the pass. And that's been mopped up by Mares and wins the free hit for Bowdon. Nudged out of play, sideline for Bowdon, just in front of the technical dugouts. Flick ball forward has been won and by Rebecca Walker, but she's just nudged it out of play. Sideline ball for Bowdon now. Now Beeston have possession. You can see those shadows that we had at the start of the game. They're long gone now. We are, I think, due something particularly unpleasant in the next couple of minutes from the gods of weather. But we'll wait for its imminent arrival. Ball forced down the far end of the field, just not being kept in. Wind is actually blowing the ball on the field. I don't know if you spotted that there when we were watching it on the screen. That's surely not helping things for the players. This could be stolen. Big appeal for a foot, but play continues. In fact, it has been spotted, and we will restart again with a Beeston free hit. Dangerous, giving the ball away. Beeston gave the ball away for the opening goal and nearly did so again there. Bowdon very, very quick to win the ball back and quickly to do something with it as well. A little bit of confusion about precisely where we're going to restart from. It will be there. Fired out towards the left-hand side, collected neatly. Ball's flicked up. Apula has knocked it forward to Stevens. Stevens, can she keep the ball in? No, she can't, but it is a Beeston sideline ball. Literally right in front of me. If you're wondering where I am in the commentary position, it is immediately to the right, or underneath where the camera is. Progressing forward down the right-hand side are Beeston. I think the decision has been made. We're only playing with one match ball today. And that is another Bowdon free hit, taken quickly, picked up. Charlie Mason, number 18 on the ball, looks to find a teammate. It has been intercepted. Apula very quickly, again, finds the pass forward. Aitchison. Beeston free hit here. Now, what can they do? Will they get players forward? There's an awful lot of white shirts in the path to goal. So it's a switch to the left-hand side. Whistle goes, another free hit for Beeston. Can they get into the circle? Can they get a penalty corner? It's flipped across the circle, it's been kept in. Is this a shooting chance? It looks like it could be. I thought that hit a leg there, but maybe I was a little bit unsighted. Long corner. Shooting chance. It's high and wide. Better spell for Beeston as we approach half-time. Still 6 minutes or so to play. But finally a few passes sticking together and a little bit of attacking intent is starting to form. We're getting more of a game. As it stands, it's still Beeston 0, Bowdon 1. Beth Alexander's goal, the difference. Apula with a very, very calm and controlled winning of the ball, taking it from the attention of Zena Hughes. Well, it's back quickly in Bowdon possession towards the baseline. What a save from Nicky Cochrane. Strong hand on the first time shot. It's still not out of harm's way. And it's been nudged out now. For a Bowdon sideline ball. I'm sure that will feature in the highlights. Near umpire making absolutely sure we're restarting from the right spot. Bowdon confidently playing it across the back. McDonald. Nice first touch into play here. And also equally good defensive work from Beeston, not allowing the player a route into the circle. Lots of pressure in that left corner. From the side. Nares plays the ball into the circle. It's been mopped up. Still in a dangerous position, and Bowdon have it back again. There's a bit of a collision here. Time is off. I was watching the path of the ball. I didn't see the collision. Umpire just having a bit of a chat with Sean French. We'll restart with a Bowdon ball. In fact, no, we will restart with a bully by the looks of things. Bowdon win it back very quickly, and it's quickly out to the right-hand side. Spreading the play from the right to the left. McDonald's ball's forward. Pops up in the air. Hughes in possession now for Bowdon. Mares across the back. Nice run this. Whiting. Nearly in again, winning the ball back. Beeston, can they find a route through before the end of the half? Everything is just slightly out of reach. Everything is just a little bit too far beyond. Bowdon, a better team so far in this game. Diagonal ball towards the circle. Time to mop up for number 16, Katie McKee. I think there's some space out here on the right, which I saw it, and Hannah McDonald also saw it from a Bowdon perspective, although that's turned over. Can the ball be played into the circle? Could this be the equaliser? Round the goalkeeper, and in! It is an equalising goal. So how quickly this ball was won back from Beeston. Two players had the opportunity to put the ball into the goal, and it was absolutely fired into the net for the equalising goal. So we are all square. It wasn't clear on the replay who that goal scorer was. Hopefully we'll get confirmation in a few moments. Because it could have been any one of two players who put the ball into the goal. We'll find out very, very soon for you. Kim Leaper is confirmed as the goal scorer for Beeston. We are all square. First goal for the club, as I understand it, for number 10, Kim Leaper. So less than 60 seconds left of this first half. It's been a half that Bowdon definitely have dominated, but we are all square. And I fear the weather may play a part again in the coming minutes, but we will ball punched along the left-hand side. There's a run towards the circle. There's an awful lot of space opening up here for Beeston. They don't want this half to end, I'm sure. Nudged out of harm's way from a Bowdon perspective. Beeston really with a bit between their teeth. Where has this been in the rest of that first half? And I think if this is going to be the final attack here, surely can they get the ball in? Apula runs with the ball, pops up in the air, and it's been dealt with. I'm sure we'll hear the whistle in a moment's time. Continuing to play. Until that point, it is Beeston 1, Bowdon 1. Beth Alexander with the opening goal for Bowdon, who it wouldn't be unfair to say have been the better side, but Beeston have equalised through Kim Leaper with about 3 minutes to go in this first half. We're going to head off for a half-time break, and we will see you in about 9 minutes' time. This is BeeTV. As you can see, the umpires are almost set and ready to go for the start of the second half. It will be Bowdon ball first, and the Shadows have come back again onto the field of play. This can only be good news. So, let's wait for that first whistle. Megan Batchelor starts the second half. That equalising goal, a little bit of a surprise, but Beeston finished very, very strongly indeed in the end of that first half. Bowdon, though, looking to reassert their progress. Long corner, straight off the start. We've had less than 20 or less than 30 seconds so far in this second half. Bowdon really looking to work their way back into the lead. Captain Sean French with a restart. Mayers twists, turns, maintains possession. Pass is intercepted. And it's spread out to the right-hand side. Through the middle, Bowdon go, nice trap. Although that has rolled out of play. Edging their way down this near side. Beeston with a free hit again, or with a sideline ball again. It is technically a free hit, but from the side. Bowdon have been very, very, very good at moving the ball about, trapping the ball, finding the space, finding the pass. They've been very good to watch today. Beeston on level terms. Not really seen anything from them in this second half so far. It is still a very young second half. Now space opens up here for the home side. Moving quickly down the benches, but that's a good interception. Bowdon win the ball back. It's still in play and back over halfway. A fewer people at home for Beeston. Quickly though, they're into defence and snap into the tackle and win the ball back quite well here. Good challenges for the ball here. I think that came off a foot, and yes it did. It's going to be another free hit. For this time through the air for Bowdon. Bounces once, bounces twice. Hannah McDonald has the ball taken off her. Bowdon again from the set piece. Sean French, the captain of Bowdon. Get us going again. Pops up, long corner, indicates the umpire. Into the circle it goes, shot towards goal. Must have gone through everybody because it's going to be a Beeston ball. But look at the numbers there Bowdon have got to try and win that ball back quickly up the field. It's a tactic you can try if you really believe in your defence. Although Beeston into the circle here, goalkeeper comes out, and that's through everybody and out for a defensive hit. That was slick from Beeston up front. Bowdon at the baseline in the circle, trying to bring out the goalkeeper. Very, very busy, and they've won. Beeston, this is, have won a free hit. It's another free hit for Bowdon here. Space is there to run into, and it has been run into by Sean French, and it's a penalty corner for Bowdon. Let's have a look back again at what happened. That's not the offence there. Into the circle it goes. I think it hit the foot there. Certainly that's my assumption, that it hit the foot of Paige Gillett. So it's a penalty corner, first of this second half. So let's have a close look at this one. 2 on the far right hand side of the circle, 3 in the middle, 1 to the left. It's gone to the centre, played low and hard in, and that's a repeat penalty corner for the away side. Off the foot and into the body is the description. So let's have a good look at it again. Looks like we will be restarting very soon indeed, so we may break off from this replay. To deliver the ball, Jane Donnelly. Same, it's out to the right hand side, blocked again. Mares with a shot towards goal, bounces down, and it is in for a second goal. So everyone was expecting maybe for it to go to the centre. It went out to the left-hand side. Mares with a ball in. It was not cleared first time, fired towards the goal, and I think turned in by Sean French close to the goal. We get confirmation to that. We are back up and running again though. And Bowdon have restored their lead. Confirmation it was Sean French with the goal. So Bowdon have restored their lead, converting a penalty corner. Beeston will be disappointed with that. They had an opportunity to clear, didn't, and were punished for it. And here come Bowdon again. Fired in, flashed across the goal. Cochrane going down low to see it through. It's still loose. Umpire's right on it and indicates it's going to be a defensive hit for Beeston. The away side going again from the set piece. Space opening up on the right hand side, but that space has been blocked by Beeston. Flick ball forward, move forward continues. Now who's got the pace here to get the ball? It will be the Bowdon player who sees it come out of play, despite the best endeavours of the forward player. 2-1 was the score between the two teams when they met a few weeks ago. The match that was postponed before the Christmas break was replayed, or played for the first time a couple of weeks ago. 2-1 was the score there, with Bowdon winning the points. So it looks like, as things stand, a Bowdon double over Beeston this season. and anything can happen in the next couple of minutes. We're making sure the ball gets taken back. Yes, it's going to be put back in the right place. There's the ball. There's the right place. We'll get going again. You can see a couple of substitutions just in front of the dugout. Play continues here. Beeston with a nice flowing move, which had been broken up, but at the expense of a free hit. Beeston taking it very quickly towards the baseline, towards the goal, long corner, says umpire Dan Reed. Going back to come forward. The home side. Quickly again towards the circle, and another long corner. Takes a few bounces on the way through. It's been kicked to relative safety. Another Beeston free hit here. This is certainly the best spell they've had in the second half. It's the second half that's gone very quickly. We've had 11 minutes or so of it so far. That spell, though, comes to nothing. Interception after interception, running with the ball. Zenna Hughes. Hughes with a shot blocked by the feet of Nicky Cochrane. Fired up, picked up in the air by Bex Walker. Walker does very well, although her initial ball fall was blocked. Now this is promising indeed. Alice Huddleston goes this way and that, and has won a free hit in a decent position here. Big appeals, and the umpire's been persuaded it's going to be a free hit for Beeston. More or less as you were. Harriet Dugan plays the ball out to the left-hand side. Now it's in towards the circle, right in front of the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper does well. It's still in the circle, and that is a penalty corner for Beeston, their first of this second half. Foot is the call. Let's have a good look at this one again. Beeston have really woken up in the last couple of minutes or so. There's the ball played in again. That was the foot right on the edge of the circle. Very, very frustrated swing at the ball from Bowdon's number 7. Now, what can the Bees do with this? Cluster of 4 or 5 just around the middle of the edge of the circle. That's where it's gone to. Played in towards the goal. It's been blocked. It's going to get another shot on goal. Long corner. Defended well from Bowdon. Out towards the right-hand side. Can they get it into the circle again? Umpire's right on it and indicates another long corner. I'm upgrading that. This is now the best spell of the game for Beeston, including the period when they scored the goal. They've got to convert this into something. Into the circle it goes. Lost a little bit of focus here. And that's wide. How close was that? Quick look over, you can see there's a couple of substitutions about to be made. Looking over at the camera we've got now over by the far side, by the officials and the team benches. This is so much better from Beeston, really turning on the pressure here. A free hit for the Bees. 5 metres out from the circle, fired in. Shooting chance, and it is there for another equaliser. Real celebrations. And wow, what a celebration as well. Confirmation of the goal scorer, Alice Huddleston, running over to the bench to celebrate a goal that must mean an awful lot. She did score against Clifton Robinsons last week, so that's 2 goals in 2 weeks for Alice Huddleston, number 7. And we are all square again. We do have a game on here. Looking across to the production team just for a bit of a pointer here, but where has this come from? Because this wasn't forewarned or anything in the first half. There was no... this wasn't in the Beeston locker half an hour ago, but they've now got 2 goals on the board, and we are all square in what is a very, very important game for the Bees. Play towards the right-hand side of the circle, and through and out of play for a Beeston defensive hit. Approaching 3/4 time. This 3rd quarter really has shot by. 52:30 is the time on the watch that we'll have 3/4 time. Reminder as ever, your player of the match nominations please at official BHC. Wherever you're watching, let us know where you're watching in the world, and let us know your favourite player who stood out for you. It doesn't have to be a Beeston player, it could be a Bowdon player as well who stood out for you, and they'll get player of the match. Bowdon a little bit more pressured in defence than they were a couple of minutes ago, and that's led to a little bit more of a turnover, which wasn't happening before. Beeston playing it through the middle. Who's there to pick it up? Nobody. And that is 3/4 time. What a game we have here. So the teams in their huddles, we've got a 2-minute quarter time break here. 2 teams, 2 goals apiece. This game's really come to life in the last quarter. That equalising goal, the second equalising goal, coming from Alice Huddleston to make it 2-2. Bowdon taking the lead for the 2nd time earlier in the quarter. So it was the captain's goal that made it 2-1 to the visitors. Sean French's goal. Teams are making their way up very quickly for the start of the final quarter here into the sunshine. Keep the pressure high is the message we understand has been given to the Beeston players at the final opportunity for team talk, that 3rd quarter. And the pressure has been paying off for the Bees here. That said, it is Bowdon with possession of the ball, and that's been won back neatly. There's an extra yard of pace in these Beeston players. Where has that come from? If you could bottle that, you would find... Let's break off again. Into the circle they go. Look at this. It's towards goal, and it is there. It is a 3rd goal for Beeston. Let's get another good look at that on the replay. The pressure we were talking about definitely has paid off. So much pace. Closest to the goal was Beeston's number 13, and that was turned in from close range by Rosie Stevens. Rosie Stevens, goal scorer. Hasn't scored since the first weekend of the season against Hampstead of Westminster. That's another goal for her, and that's really turned this game around. The Bees leading for the first time in the game. Very, very big goal, and they're nearly through again here. Hits the frame of the goal and behind. Catching our breaths back here for a moment. So that was a really dramatic start to the third quarter. Ball popped up into the air, defended, and free hit for Bowdon. There's still 15 minutes left of this game. Anything can happen. This is nice around the edge of the circle. Into the circle they go, and that's a big appeal, and that is a penalty corner for the visitors. Stick obstruction is the call. Umpire absolutely spot on to in the right position to see that. So we've noticed there's going to be usually a cluster around the circle. We've had a goal come from the ball to the left-hand side. Everyone's slightly more bunched in, apart from the player to the extreme right there. So this could go anywhere. It has gone to the circle. It's an elaborate one. Cochrane is low, long corner, defended very well indeed. Ball pops up the stick. Bowdon turn the ball over, but Beeston are in trouble here if they turn it over, and they have had the possession turned over. Ball out of play, long corner for Bowdon. If you're enjoying this game, do let other people know that you're watching. Be a shame for them to miss out on this. Very, very dramatic conclusion, I'm sure, will follow. To the right-hand side, Bowdon's ball. Things are suddenly not happening for Bowdon. It's can't put my finger on it, but something has happened, and Bowdon aren't as slick as they were, and Beeston suddenly have the bit between their teeth. This could all change, however. As of right now, though, it is Beeston which are the team on top. That chop ball through, bounces a couple of times. Well, that was nearly a turnover. Bowdon have the free hit. They are moving it very quickly through the middle of the field. And it has been turned over. Charlotte Triggs. Possession back with Bowdon now. Trying to go through the middle, and it is a turnover. The ball slightly too quick. Bowdon have it in defence. Crunched a long distance. Beeston looking a lot more composed on the ball in defence. What's the umpire's decision? Beeston ball. So just under 12 minutes to go left in this game. The sun has suddenly started to shine. At the moment, it's shining on the home side. Big drive along the touchline has been blocked. Well defended. Bowdon, I'm sure they've got enough to potentially get on the score sheet again here. Long corner. From a Beeston perspective, it's keeping them out. From a Bowdon perspective, it's keeping the ball at this end of the field. Another very, very good block in the Beeston defence. Been pushed over halfway. No one in a black shirt in your camera picture. Tara Aitchison just hovering into view now. Nudge ball, can this be kept in on the baseline? It has been kept in, it is in the circle. Flicked towards goal and long corner is the outcome. Sean French very keen to get involved. It's 10 minutes to play according to the clock on the screen. Can the Bees hold on and get 3 very important points? Can Bowdon come back to it and lead again, as they have done twice in this game? Real tussle in front of the Beeston bench for the ball here. Lots of movement. Bowdon have it. Fired quickly towards the edge of the circle. Nice step in, taking the ball out of play. It's been picked up by Mares on halfway, and that ball through will come to naught. Another 9 minutes for the Bees to survive. This will be a grandstand finish. One more reminder, because I don't anticipate having the opportunity to say it again one more time. Your player of the match to @official BHC. It could be a Bowdon player, it could be a Beeston player. Who stood out for you? And we'll give them the player of the match. Once again, I think we're looking for the solo match ball, which has gone a long way. Mare's ball comes off number 9, Lauren Burrell. Big ball comes off the stick. Mares plays it forward again. She has been penalised, and it's a Beeston ball. 8 minutes. A touch to go. Aerial ball out of defence. And there is a player in black there to relieve the pressure. Support is coming from Bex Walker. Goal scorer Rosie Stevens just can't keep the ball in play. I think it has been kept in play. But Bowdon, I thought, had been given the free hit there, but looks like Beeston have it. I think we've got a burst on the whistle there. No suggestion of a card. We've got the umpires coming together here for a chat. The umpires are coming together. You can see Dan Reed and Karen Finn. Looks like the clock must be stopped as well. So I wonder if we can pick up the umpires. Do we have an injury? I can't work out exactly what's going on. Do we have a steer? Might we have a radio problem? Or are we just checking to see which direction the free hit should be given? It looks like it's definitely gone to Bowdon. Somewhere in the region of where the offence originally took place. Clock restarts. Bit of shoulder to shoulder, nothing wrong in that. Bowdon starting to move the ball around really well. Julie Whiting making her way towards the circle. Decent block. Although it has gone the way of Bowdon. They're in the circle, big appeal. It's in front of the goalkeeper and defensive free hit is the outcome. Now Ali Edie playing the ball out of defence. There it is, straight up down the middle and shielded well on the halfway. Ball touched out of play for a Beeston ball. Clock continuing to tick down. Played along the right hand side towards the baseline and it's straight out of play for a Bowdon ball. This is good, but just beyond the run. Rosie Bailey is the Bowdon number 2 in your picture. Beeston taking their time over that. Thought about the aerial, went low. This has given away the free hit. Beeston stride over halfway with the ball. It's fallen kindly for them. It's in towards the circle, turn and shot, and it's just wide of the upright. Hands on head there, that could have been number 4. How are they finding this? This is like a different team. In fact, it must have got a save. It must have got a save because it's a long corner. It's in the circle again, it bounces a couple of times and it will go out of play. I wouldn't mind seeing that again on the highlights if that's possible. Not right now, but yes, that must be one of the saves because that was so subtle. Into the circle again, umpire's right on it, making sure everything is good, and it's a defensive hit. 4 minutes to play. Beeston winning the ball back almost at will here. They play the ball back into the corner. Now, is that a tactical thing if you know you're only playing with 1 match ball? If it is, so here come Bowdon looking for their first equaliser of the game. They've only been behind once. Again, we're looking for that 1 match ball. 3 and a bit minutes to play. Shallow ball along the right sideline. Things could open up here. Goalkeeper kicks the ball away. Long corner shows us the way from the umpire. I've never seen a turnaround like this. This is a completely different performance from the team we saw in the first half. shepherding the ball in a tough location. It's gone the way of Bowdon. Surely there's a couple of more attacks left in this game. Can the away side find a route through to goal? Knocked along the touchline. Well won back in front of the dugouts. Bowdon have it here. Very quick ball forward, was anticipated, but it wasn't. It was quite slow. That's another good step in at the expense. In fact, that's gone Beeston's way, that free hit. I thought it was going to go the way of Bowdon. They've crunched the ball through the middle. Less than 2 minutes remain. Important touch slows down that Bowdon attack. Julie Whiting in possession of the ball, plays it towards the circle. Shot towards goal, big appeal, and it's gone the way of the home side. Again, Bowdon being very, very, very positive in their attacking defence. They're being very, very forward. They need to win the ball back here. In fact, they have it with 60 seconds left. From the side, it's turned in towards the goal. Beeston have the ball back from there with less than 60 seconds remaining. Again, there's so many white shirts, and they do win the ball back. High up the field, that's an intelligent ball to the left-hand side of the circle, stepping in very good. Bex Walker, number 11, touches it out to the left-hand side, and it's crunched all the way down the field. That's exactly where they want it to be. So it isn't exactly accurate, the match clock. It's as close as we can get it, so it may not finish exactly on 70 minutes. With possession, Heidi DeVay from the side. DeVay goes towards the circle. It's been picked up by Beeston. The goalkeeper's out here. Goalkeeper's done very well. And that is it. It is all over. Beeston 3, Bowdon 2. What a turnaround. What a result for the home side. Wow. What a game. What a game. Celebrations on the field, commiserations from Bowdon. Terrific game of hockey, and very much a game of two halves, where Bowdon were by far the better team. Beeston came from behind to take it. Beth Alexander, your opening goal scorer on 8th minute. Beeston equalising through Kim Leaper with a couple of minutes to go in the end of the first half. Bowdon then retaking the lead from a well-worked penalty corner converted by Sean French. Beeston equalising again through Alice Huddleston from very close range. 3 minutes later, Beeston grabbing what ultimately turned out to be the winner from Rosie Stevens. Beeston 3, Bowdon 2, your final score. What a game. If we can, we'll try and get a few words from the players before we go off air, because we're on until late today. Coming up with a pushback at 4 o'clock, it's the men. Beeston versus Exeter University. A quick look for the women at the other games which are going on and what that might have impacted on the table. The 3 points not being applied yet to Beeston because it's not formally completed. We need to make sure that it's still finished. But Beeston will move on to 15 points. They stay in 8th place. But those 3 points, very, very important because it keeps Bowdon Hightown now 6 points behind them. Bowdon actually on 9 due to a points deduction. They're saying it's 12 on the screen, but it's actually 9. Elsewhere, East Grinstead 2, Hampstead and Westminster 1. So things are tightening up in the race for the second spot in the Investec Premier Division. University of Birmingham 3, Loughborough Students 0. Enormous game in progress. It will be an enormous result if it stays like that, because University of Birmingham pulling themselves up into and above Bowdon Hightown. Clifton Robinson's 1, Buckingham 1 is a latest score, and starting at 2 o'clock, Surbiton versus Holcombe. So what we're going to do is have a bit of a warm drink, have a sit down, and then come back for live coverage of the men's match, which will be starting at about 5 to 2. So the game starting at 2 o'clock, coverage restarting at about 5 to 2. I'll be joined in the chapel by Steve Musson, if we can find him and if he's not been blown away. But congratulations to Beeston ladies. They've beaten Bowdon by 3 goals to 2, and my word, what a terrific game that was. You're watching BeeTV. Self pass played towards the circle, pops up, play on, says the umpire, closest to the action. This is a good opportunity for Bowdon here. Still not out of harm's way, and that's the first penalty corner. Good tussle for the ball, and Bowdon have it, and in the circle, shooting opportunity. And that is the opening goal of the game. Fired high. Kept in play here. And with it, Lauren Burrell. Direct to goal, plays the ball towards the circle. Could this be a shooting opportunity? It's been dragged wide. Long corner. Shooting chance. It's high and wide. Better spell for winning of the ball, taking it from the attention of Zena Hughes. Well, it's back quickly in Bowdon possession towards the baseline. What a save from Nikki Cochran. Strong hand on the first time. I saw it, and Hannah McDonald also saw it from a Bowdon perspective, although that's turned over. Can the ball be played into the circle? Could this be the equaliser? Round the goalkeeper, and in! It is an equalising goal. It's another free hit for Bowdon here. Space is there to run into, and it has been run into by Sean French, and it's a penalty corner for Bowdon. To deliver the ball, Jane Donnelly. Same, it's out to the right-hand side, blocked again. Mares with a shot towards goal, bounces down, and it is in for a second goal. Turning on the pressure here. A free hit for the Bees. 5 metres out from the circle, fired in. Shooting chance, and it is there for another equaliser. These Beeston players, where has that come from? If you could bottle that, you would find. Let's break off again, into the circle they go. Look at this. It's towards goal, and it is there. It is a third goal for Beeston.
Hi, I'm Steve Parker from FHP Living, with the sales agents down here at Trent Beeston, a stunning mixed development of apartments and quality homes set directly on the riverfront. If you'd like any more information or to arrange a viewing, please contact us at the office or have a look on our website.
When you succeed,
we succeed.
so we listen.
We tailor.
And we invest in you.
We are innovators.
We deliver results.
And world-class service.
We are always developing.
Learning and growing.
And getting better at what we do.
Supporting your business.
We make technology effortless.
And more than just a means to an end.
We're the team who serve.
And advise you.
All to help you achieve.
And surpass your goals.
We're super.
We're honest.
And go the extra mile.
We're winners.
And team players.
And together,
We're the managed service provider.
We're Air IT.
We're Air IT.
we're Air IT.
You're number one for IT and comms.
I played at the highest level for Holland since I was 17. First you start as a talented little girl and just go and play, and now you really have to carry the team. A lot of the media, they always write things about you, but it's not important. I know what I can do, and the people that I really care about, they always believed in me. And I've always been a fighter. Even when you think you can't go anymore, you just keep on going because of your team. My position in the field is important, but without the others, I'm a no one. Speed is very important. There isn't room for error, actually. It's just me, opponents, and my teammates. You have to give it your all, no mercy. Every competition we play, you just want to win. When you step on the podium, it's just the best feeling in the world. It is hard to dare and dream about winning, but we know if we play well, we can beat anyone.
Self-pass, played towards the circle, pops up, play on, says the umpire, closest to the action. This is a good opportunity for Bowdon here. Still not out of harm's way, and that's the first penalty corner. Good tussle for the ball, and Bowdon have it, and in the circle, shooting opportunity. And that is the opening goal of the game. Fired high. Captain play here. And with it, Lauren Burrell. Direct to goal, plays the ball towards the circle. Could this be a shooting opportunity? It's been dragged wide. Long corner. Shooting chance. It's high and wide. Better spell for winning of the ball, taking it from the attention of Zena Hughes. Well, it's back quickly in Bowdon possession towards the baseline. What a save from Nikki Cochran. Strong hand on the first time. I saw it, and Hannah McDonald also saw it from a Bowdon perspective, although that's turned over. Can the ball be played into the circle? Could this be the equaliser? Round the goalkeeper, and in! It is an equalising goal. And it's another free hit for Bowdon here. Space is there to run into, and it has been run into by Sian French, and it's a penalty corner for Bowdon. To deliver the ball, Jane Donnelly. Same, it's out to the right-hand side, blocked again. Mayers with a shot towards goal, bounces down, and it is in for a second goal. Really turning on the pressure here. A free hit for the Bees. 5 metres out from the circle, fired in. Shooting chance, and it is there for another equaliser. These Beeston players, where has that come from? If you could bottle that, you would find. Let's break off again, into the circle they go. Look at this, it's towards goal, and it is there. It is a third goal for Beeston. A very, very warm welcome back to BeeTV. It's Beeston versus Exeter University in men's Premier Division hockey. We've already seen one 5-goal thriller today. What do we have in store? Match beginning at 2 o'clock. Alongside me, Steve Musson. Firstly, what did you make of that game before, Beeston versus Bowdon High Town?
Excellent. The phrase "a game of two halves" just sort of says what happened there. That was a fantastic comeback from Beeston, and to hold on to those points at this part of the season has been crucial for them, really.
Excellent 3 points, and very much welcome as well, given the result yesterday. So the disappointment yesterday, I think, fueled that comeback from Beeston, and also from Bowdon's perspective, for a team that was so in command of the game, and from my own inner monologue whilst I was describing the game, it felt like that they could have won the game by 4 or 5, maybe more goals.
Yes, I think the noticeable change was the intensity, and Beeston managed to just drive that up in the second half, and that upset the rhythm that Bowdon had, and consequently the goals came. So great result.
Right, you are. So it is Beeston versus Exeter. We've already looked at the list of the players who are available, and one player that we can't see yet from University of Exeter stands out a little. We were looking at number 22, Simon Mantell. And why would he be a big miss for Exeter if he's not here?
The young Simon Mantell. Well, his obvious experience is international experience, and he's still a very good goal scorer. And I just think to have somebody around a university side like that is a big help.
Indeed it would be, indeed it would be. So once again, we are unable to bring you the match day information. However, what we can bring you up to speed with are the comings and going in the rest of the competition. Firstly, we'll look at the men's match. Brooklands Manchester University 1, Holcombe 1 is the final score. Very, very important point for Brooklands Manchester University at the bottom, or towards the bottom end of the table. Holcombe, who took all 3 points here yesterday, held on the road at Brooklands. Yes, still to come, Old Georgians versus Hampstead and Westminster. That possibly could be the game of the day. We've got Beeston, Exeter University coming up, Reading, Wimbledon. Reading desperately now looking for points, and East Grinstead, Surbiton later on. A quick look at the results from the women's fixtures as well, because we had games earlier on. This is the way things look. As we were talking about, Beeston 3, Bowdon High Town 2, East Grinstead 2, Hampstead and Westminster 1, University of Birmingham 3, Loughborough Students 1. Enormous result towards the bottom of the table, and Clifton Robinson's 2, Buckingham 1 is the latest score. They're in the third quarter there. A quick look at the table, Bowdon High Town, that definitely now puts them at the bottom of the table, and by some distance. We could see the frustration of the players as they were coming off, and I think as that really put their season into sharp relief, that they were ahead twice and virtually had the 3 points in the bag, but came away with nothing.
Yeah.
So, still to come, the men of Beeston versus the men of University of Exeter. So Beeston had a bit of a difficult day yesterday. How do you think they'll respond?
Well, they needed a game because the build-up before the start of the second half of this season has been difficult for them, really, and you could see the difference in the teams yesterday. Holcombe, who'd played the week before and had a good indoor competition, looked slicker for quite a lot of the game, and it wasn't until the second half that Beeston got into their flow and the chase down nearly occurred. Just that last 10 minutes they didn't play as well as they should have done. Similarly today, they'll have to be careful. Exeter confident, 2 wins on the bounce, 3-2 score lines against sides that they would definitely want to beat to make sure they have no issues in the league, and so they'll be playing exactly the same today.
You can see that the teams are almost ready, and our umpires, Lee Barron and Gareth Perry, are in the middle of the field, about to walk us out. So we are unable to bring you the team information, but this is the first look at the team, and as ever we're looking for who's starting and who's playing for Beeston. So it doesn't look like a much changed 16 from Beeston today.
No, it's the same 16 as it was yesterday, and obviously looking to use yesterday's game as a platform for a slicker performance today, I would hope. The first time they played, obviously pre-Christmas, was the away game at Exeter, and there was a 5-0 win for Beeston. They would love to replicate that today, but they cannot be complacent.
Yes, that was a particularly rich run of form for the Bees. They had a couple of 5-goal wins in that spell, didn't they? If I'm not mistaken, there was that 5-0 away at Exeter University. There's a 5-1 away win at East Grinstead.
Yes, yeah.
So that was a really rich result stream.
I think it showed at the time. I mean, that was the phase of the season that Beeston had the availability and not a big injury list, and it was able to demonstrate how capable they are as a side. Obviously integrating a lot of youngsters this season. It's part of a development programme that Stephen Wood and Mark Wadsley are going through, and they've had the hiccup now of having lost a few players through injury, and they need to be careful for the last few games of the season.
Looking at University of Exeter, they had a decent result yesterday. They were away at Brooklands Manchester University. They came away with a 3-2 victory. 2 goals for Scott Duncan, number 7 on your picture for University of Exeter. Also scoring a penalty corner from 15, Sam Hooper. So those players definitely know where the goal is, but it will be Beeston that will get the game underway. Chris Proctor has the ball under his control, and will get the game underway very soon. Frankie goes to Hollywood, fades out, and the game will begin. Beeston in the dark shirts. They've obviously, through necessity, gone back to their dark shirts. They were thinking that the white shirts were a good omen yesterday, and
yes,
didn't quite turn out to be that way.
That superstition has now been put to bed, Andy, so they're back in their usual strip.
So that means that Joe Sharp will be his usual number 8, rather than number 12. So that's something we can write in our notes already.
Great result for Exeter yesterday. It's not an easy place to go, Brooklands. They're a very partisan, loyal crowd they have up there, and to go there and actually get a result is great credit to them, really. But Exeter have got this habit of fighting hard crucial parts of the season, as they did in the playoffs last year, and we'll see some of that today, I'm absolutely sure.
So we can see that as a university side, not only do they play top-level club hockey, they also play in the Bucks as well.
They do.
So there's an awful lot of top-level experience from these players.
Yeah.
They have survived as well in tense situations. They came up via the playoffs, and they stayed up via the playoffs as well last season. So they've got what it takes and can pull out a result when needed. But Chris Proctor here, what can he do?
As I heard one or two of the Exeter guys talking a bit about Chris Proctor before the game today.
Were you?
I certainly was eavesdropping, yes, and they're just conscious that he is dangerous on the ball, as we said yesterday, and as a bit of a lone striker at times he can be very dangerous, and so they're looking at how they might cut that out.
Okay, game really not settling in yet. We are just as people have been watching the first game and now on to the second game. We were playing with 1 match ball in that first game. Now we are playing multi-ball.
Quite right.
Let's see that ball into the circle. That's a couple of sticks wide of the upright and didn't get a touch. It's going to be a defensive hit for University of Exeter.
One of the things from yesterday, really, and I was a bit disappointed at the opportunities Beeston had to feed that ball into the D, and probably didn't take enough of them on. So it's an early start feeding the ball in there. Forwards need to think that ball is going to be passed in and make sure they're in good positions near the keeper, near the penalty spots for deflections. As we saw, deflections yesterday were very well taken by Holcomb, so the benefit of that ball being fed in is there for all to see.
So both teams finding a few changes of possession in midfield. Exeter get the benefit of that whistle.
Beeston using the midfield to try to outlet Lucas Ward on the ball there. We mentioned him yesterday, a little bit more precision on the ball, cut out these turnovers in the middle of the park.
Sam Patterson. That's It's a turnover. Beeston have it, and they're looking to move
good
quickly.
quick start.
Here's Proctor, the danger man. Moved it from the centre to the left. There is support up there with him now. Can he find a teammate? He's going alone at the moment. He's about to swing, and that's a penalty corner for Beeston. He was about to strike the ball and possibly take the net off the goal.
The individual work from Chris again. This is something that's happened with him more this season than before. Good on the ball, hard to dispossess, and in that situation he's nearly got that final shot off. At least he's come out with a corner.
Yes, looking at that, the player dropping to the floor was number 19, Lucas Ward. He actually, that was hit him. So it was that was the reason why the penalty corner was given, spotted by our spotter over on the far side. Thank you, welcome to the team. Josh Robinson, a warm welcome to you. So penalty corner, number 1 of the game. Looking, we can see Ollie Willars is on the edge. We can see Adam Dixon as well, Chris Proctor as well. So there are options.
2 GB guys there in the striking roles. So we'll see how they deal with the first one. Probably for Adam, I'd have thought.
Converting penalty corners was a bit of a difficulty yesterday. Let's see how they fare on this one. It is Dixon. Dixon goes low, and it's bounced out of harm's way. Beeston will continue to press. It's towards the baseline and out of play for an Exeter defensive free hit. So what do you make of that?
Well, well watched by the keeper, nicely kicked away into a safe zone. One of the things from yesterday, again, from Beeston's point of view, I'd like to see them keep the ball in the opposition's half for longer periods of time than they did, and there was an opportunity there, but the turnover has allowed Exeter out.
Also, from penalty corners, I think you're Beeston are missing a true specialist.
Yeah, I think Adam's quite capable at it, but obviously sometimes with his unavailability for international things, he doesn't get to do it all the time, and since Mark Gleghorn left, we haven't had an out-and-out specialist on the short corners.
I was watching some of the Pro League and some of the Dutch penalty corner routines, and the power they got was just absolutely phenomenal.
It is.
Acutely aware of the danger that a good striker of a penalty corner can bring. Let's see how Beeston can come out of this situation in defence. It's a very compressed part of the field of play. They've done well to maintain possession and get an outlet here.
Good outlet to the midfield. And there's Lucas Ward on the ball again, and he's made his connecting pass. So there should be an opportunity to either work this possession around the back four or get forwards.
Ball on halfway. Beeston in the dark shirts attacking the boulevard end.
Obvious intent.
Ooh, stoppage in play here. I thought that hit the head of the player there as he went down. I thought we were in for a bit of an injury break, but play resumes with a free hit. Hopefully the player's okay.
Obvious intention there to push Ollie Willars forwards, seeing him beyond the halfway line on the ball, something that can change the tactics of the team, getting one of your centre backs to actually progress through into midfield and even higher roles.
Normally we highlight the players as well, players of interest, but don't forget we've got a relative celebrity umpire today, Lee Barron. He's umpired 2 indoor World Cup finals.
He has, yes. He's
very well respected.
His career has taken off beautifully.
Very, very modest man.
Yes.
We've got a couple of interchanges coming on from the University of Exeter side. On the side you've got James Ferguson and Max Lowry. Usually about this time we see a couple of changes. Alex Sweet, Sam Patterson tend to drift in at this time, but we don't know who is on the bench and who's starting for Exeter, so we're a bit unsighted from that point of view.
We haven't quite got that information today.
No.
It's, just noticed actually we have got a change in the Beeston setup. Gareth Griffiths back on the team today after his injury problems of late. He's back in action, which is good to see.
Indeed, just hovering around the edge of the circle now, number 7. That's a nice take in the air. Exeter going towards the baseline into the circle. Good skills. And that's played towards the goal, but that is a defensive free hit. It's coming off the leg, Lee Barron indicates.
Good use of the aerial to a player in free space, allowed him to get into the D and use that back line. It can make it very difficult for defenders, particularly if the ball's a bit bobbly along that baseline. Good ball pace. Difference that makes when the ball pace is right, you can very quickly make connections going forwards, and that was much better.
Robbie Gleeson just behind him. It will be an Exeter ball in a difficult position. So it was it a hamstring with Gareth Griffiths?
I think it was, yeah. Hamstring niggle rather than a pull, as far as I'm aware. So
he's had a finger injury.
He has.
But he's coming back stronger.
Play a lot of hockey, these young lads, particularly those involved in the EDP stuff. It's pretty full on, and obviously the university games as well. Talking to Adam Dixon yesterday about the amount of time he spends in preparation and to make sure that he's as injury free as he can possibly be, and it's a full-time job, as is his role. He's got to make sure he's like that, and the youngsters coming through need to take a leaf out of his book.
Broken kindly here for Beeston. It's a very, very congested part of the field of play. Will be a free hit though. This first 10 minutes or so has moved along at a decent pace. No real true goal scoring opportunities apart from that effort that was blocked from Chris Proctor, which really wasn't a golden opportunity.
No. The corner was well saved, so that was easily dealt with by Exeter. I think the one thing you can expect from Exeter is there'll be no drop off in pace or intensity from them. They'll work hard right the way through the game.
It's a diagonal ball, nicely taken down in the circle. Chance here. It's been picked up, and that is
corner.
Penalty corner. Umpire, as ever, right on top of it. Let's have a look at this. This diagonal ball was delicious, wasn't it?
Well, Richard Lawrence has done really well here, because the key part, as we said yesterday, getting hold of that ball in the D, and look what that's led to. He's found a foot from a slip pass, and there's the penalty corner. I think if he tried to shy hit that as it bounced, it could have gone anywhere, so he's done exactly the right thing to give Beeston their second penalty corner.
Once again, Muss's law. Every third one, you've at least converted one of those chances. So this is the second. I'm turning this into a thing.
Yes.
Capital T, a thing. Muss's law. So around the edge of the circle, we've got 6 players. 4 around the edge and a little bit further
Richard
back.
Lawrence is in there. I'm interested to see whether they might use him. Here we go.
It is Lawrence, low and into the goal.
Yes.
And it looks like Griffiths, who has
deflected,
touched it in.
Yeah, reverse stick deflection. Now that's really interesting, because Richard Lawrence has flicked a lot of corners in his time for Beeston, and to turn to him in this situation, he's got a very powerful low pass, and he's put that straight back into the path of
Let's look at that.
Gareth
Griffiths knew exactly where he was going.
Perfect.
It was well-worked routine and converted into the first goal of the game. Beeston have the lead over Exeter. 11 minutes played, and it's Gareth Griffiths with the opener.
Glad to see they've worked an option there, because obviously they've not had the best of success yesterday, certainly, and obviously the first one today, so do something different, and that's worked out very well.
Indeed it was. That was a training routine that was absolutely executed perfectly.
It was.
Very different to what we saw yesterday.
Yes,
mostly
that's right.
It was a shot from the edge,
The player who makes the deflection doesn't really have to do a lot other than to get in shape and make sure he sticks low, and then it's all generated from the power of the flicker, which Richard Lawrence was perfect with.
First goal of the season for Gareth Griffiths, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that's right, yeah.
Well, hopefully my stats are right.
Yeah.
Plenty of appearances. In fact, appearance number 8 for the season. First goal.
Yes. Bit of pressure from Exeter here, pressing the guys at the back, but even though it was quite tight to the baseline, they've worked that away nicely.
Exeter doing well to try and build on the right-hand side. They've got a lot of space to work with here.
Yeah, plenty of movement from them as well, which you'd expect to see. They've obviously want to create as much space as possible, so Beeston need to be organised defensively, which they are at the moment.
It's popped up in the circle. Exeter playing the ball across the face of goal. Big appeal. Beeston free hit, and play will continue from there.
A bit too high, the cross. Again, an opportunity there. Ollie Willard's missed the trap. The ball fell loose in the D. Little dangerous bits and bobs like that. Take care on the basics.
With the ball, James Ferguson plays it out to the left-hand side, into the circle, looking for something, and that has been found.
Well, little warning from the move before. The player free on the left-hand side of the D picks up the ball, and then if the defender is not close enough to him, he's got all kinds of opportunities to shoot or win his penalty corner, as he's done there. So I think a little bit more discipline from the Beeston defence. Stephen Lawrence needs to get much closer to that.
That was Max Sydenham who caused the penalty corner to be given away.
You need your defenders to be just as quick as the forwards, and there's a good example of how if you just hold off a little bit, exposes the foot, and it's quite easy for a forward to take that choice and have the corner if he wants.
Obvious collection of players around the edge of the circle, but that is not necessarily where the ball's going to go. It could go shallow. Bit of movement. It is going to the centre, played in, and that is the equaliser. Celebrating is Sam Hooper.
Well,
he's
already scored 3 penalty corners this season, and I think that's a bit of a lesson in the early part of the game for Beeston. Close down those receiving players, because it's all come from the foot of Stephen Lawrence.
That little bit of movement caused a little bit of concern. That drive was good. I think it got a deflection on the way, and it may have hit a player on the way through, but into the goal it went.
Yeah. Awkward height, not fully in the roof. It's sort of a metre off the ground as it's crossed the line. Difficult. You've got to get your whole stick behind that if the stick stopper's going to save it. Difficult for the keeper to get his foot to.
So already we've had 2 goals and we've not had quarter time yet. Just a reminder, if you're new to Premier Division hockey, it is 4 quarters of 17.5 minutes. So we're about 2 minutes away from that first break in play. Exeter University, I must say that's good mopping up from Dixon, keeping his eye on the ball. He's done very, very well here.
Tricky skills in the corner. Yeah, nice control to work that away from a very tight area, and only just got away with that crossfield pass there. Need to take care of that. The trouble with letting a side back in when you've had quite a dominant start to a game is it just passes all the energy to, in this case, Exeter, and they've capitalised on that, and you'll see the next 5 minutes they'll be pushing hard for a second goal.
Indeed, just going back to Sam Hooper's penalty corner goal. He scored yesterday in the 9th minute from a penalty corner as well. So
this is 5th goal, yeah, of the season, I think.
So he scored yesterday, so that's 2 goals in 2 days.
Yeah.
Right. Game on. Flick ball forward into the channel. 2 players going for it. The umpire has decided that is going to be a long corner. Paying closer attention to when the ball's played in the air between 2 players. Chaos just outside the edge of the circle. Willard's in control of the situation, playing back.
Exeter doing really well here, not making it easy for Beeston, having to concentrate on how they outlet the ball, and obviously picked up again by Exeter, so plenty of energy and thought going on from them at the moment.
I must say, nice little touch of the ball, Sam Patterson there to lift it over the stick of the defender. Beeston playing quickly. We're moments away from that first quarter time break, so stand by for that. Out to the left-hand side. Is there time for another attack? I don't think there will be, given the ball's drifted out of play here. So, 2-minute break. What do you say to your teams?
Well, I think as far as the Beeston coaches are concerned, they'll be wanting to make sure that they outlet cleanly and can maintain the ball in the midfield of the part of the pitch, and then they need to release that to the forwards and create more opportunities in the D, as we said at the start. I think from Exeter's point of view, they'll be happy with the energy levels, and certainly that possession in the last 5 minutes of that quarter has been good for them. Beeston need to be very careful on not giving away corners, because obviously, as we talked about, specialist flickers, Sam Hooper's doing very well at the moment.
Right, you are. So this is BeeTV, this is live Men's Hockey League Premier Division action from Nottingham Hockey Centre. Beeston 1, University of Exeter 1. Gareth Griffiths confirmed as the scorer of the opening goal, and Sam Hooper there on 15 from number 15. So 17 and a half minutes in, that's the way things are. How are we looking in the rest of the competitions? Old Georgians 0, Hampstead and Westminster 1. Interesting scoreline. And then earlier in the day, Brooklands Manchester University 1, Holcombe 1. Still to come, and they're in warm-up in the other 2 games, Reading Wimbledon and East Grinstead Surbiton.
Just looking at that East Grinstead fixture against Surbiton after their heavy loss yesterday, that's going to be a difficult fixture for them. Surbiton obviously flying high at the moment, lots of potential in all areas of the pitch.
Indeed, a draw yesterday for Surbiton though.
Yes, that's the first, well, I think the second time they've drawn this season, but those top 4 sides do challenge each other, and it does look a little bit like we know who the top 4 are, even though there's 3-4 games to go. So there's a lot of competition between those sides, and of course everybody will challenge the leader.
So also, whilst we were talking about that draw, who got on the score sheet yesterday for Old Georgians?
Did he?
There you go. It is, yes, Sam Ward back on the score sheet
there you
yesterday.
go. Yes, it was ever going to be the case, wasn't it, really?
So from all of us at BeeTV here, that's a welcome back to playing for Sam Ward. Always good to see good players playing.
Well, a lot of nerve on his part. It was obviously going to be in his mind, the injury he had. So that's a great start. I would imagine he'd been played sparingly, but to get the goal, brilliant.
Here come Exeter University, and that's a penalty corner.
Yeah, this is costing Beeston a bit, this left side of the D for the attackers. Beeston's right side, you know, just again, that's Stephen Lawrence's foot, I think, and that's dangerous times.
So how quickly does this ball go from halfway? Played out quickly to the left-hand side. Yes, it just flick off.
Good high-pitch transfer. Yeah. It's almost like the Exeter forward was picking the foot out there. It could have been potentially a ball fed into the D, but he knew full well that if he managed to get it past Stephen Lawrence's stick, the likelihood is he would have hit a foot.
So yes, it is second penalty corner in a couple of minutes of play here. So all eyes, you can see the tall figure of Sam Hooper.
Need the number 1 runner to get this right, get his line right here.
Another shuffle to the left, same player again. That's an excellent, excellent save from Simon Hudge, winning the Beeston goal.
He's done well there. High, heading into the net as far as I could see from here, and he's really got his hand across to that nicely. I think this is a change in Exeter from the early part of the season. They've stepped up, they've got used to this level of fixtures, and they are obviously intent on seeing themselves stay in the league for the next season without having to go through the playoff route.
Indeed, they've won their last 2. They won at Reading and they won at Brooklands. So on a decent little run of form.
It is, yeah, that's right.
As you were saying, some of the earlier results in the season, they seem to be, they will be in the memory, but they're behind them now.
Important tackle from Lucas Ward there, because Exeter trying to work that opening on their left-hand side again, and this time it's been interfered with. So passing it around well, moving the ball across the pitch quickly.
You say that, it's been intercepted, but also won back quickly by Exeter. With it, Archie Winter. Here he's on the ball now. Winter under pressure goes back. So close to being picked off. Exeter, though, still maintain possession of the ball. Beeston hunting in packs at the moment. With it is Duncan Scott. Scored 2 yesterday, the number 7 for Exeter.
Yeah, he's got out of trouble there nicely. some of the game that we've seen so far today, Andy. It shows the benefit of the higher pitch transfer work. There's another situation here, moving it around quite nicely, not in their own half, but mostly in the opposition's half. And of course, if you get that right and you get the possession right, you can build up your attacks nicely.
Just for the benefit of our viewers who might not be aware what a higher pitch transfer is, would you be able to describe
Yeah,
it?
it's where you've got your back four players have progressed up the pitch and the whole of the unit has moved into the opposition's half, but they're retaining possession around those back four players, but they're much higher up the pitch than would be usual when they're near their own defensive areas. So,
and it's much more difficult to deal with as a result.
Yeah, if they're doing it right, then there's likely to be an opening to get that ball into the D at some point, and there's a lot of space for Exeter here.
Kieran Walton on the ball, plays the ball into the circle, took a touch, been played out and being picked up by Richard Lawrence, number 17. Steps inside, under pressure, finds a teammate. Cycled again, Willar's out on the right sideline here. Crunches it all the way through. That was so very, very nearly all the way through.
I think the only danger with that higher pitch work is that if you do turn the ball over too easily, then a lot of players can be eliminated at the same time. But Exeter dealing with things very well at the moment, dropping back into defensive shape nicely. See the work rate from these guys, these Exeter players getting back into shape. Very necessary part of the game.
It's all being taken place close to the edges of the field here. Exeter pressing in defence. That's taken a touch. Looking at the umpire for a signal. Umpire signalling a long corner.
Just looking at the opportunity that Chris Proctor had then, he could have potentially passed that right across the pitch. There was space there. He's come out of it all right with the long corner.
It's out towards the right-hand side, working it around neatly, although it's gone straight to an Exeter stick.
Nice safe defence for Exeter there.
They are moving around very neatly, but in a place that's not really hurting Beeston at the moment. Now it goes forward. Now stepping in, there's Matthew Cruikshanks, picks the ball off in the air. Dixon into space towards the right-hand side now. With it, Robbie Gleeson wins the sideline ball. Oh, it's fine, it's all the way through to Gleeson. Gleeson across the face of goal as well. Goalkeeper kicks it out. Real scramble, and that is an Exeter ball.
A lot of Beeston players out of position here. It's so important you have to work backwards just as quick as you would as an attacker to get back into shape.
Duncan Scott flying through the air. It's my assumption, and that's because we don't have access to the information yet, that it's Taylor Seeger Green in the University of Exeter goal, who started every game so far. We'll get that confirmed for you in a moment. So for the time being, he will just be the goalkeeper until we can get confirmation of that.
There's that attempt to feed that ball to that high left striker again and just work the edge of that D. Didn't quite come off for Exeter that time. Similar thing that we talked about really, Andy, the amount of time that Beeston are spending with the ball in the opposition's half, it's not as high as it should be. They're getting there, but they're not staying in possession of the ball for long enough, and it comes back at them. They have to resort to getting back into defensive shape, and Exeter are quite enjoying that part of the game at the moment.
Risky out of defence, but it has paid off here. Look at the pace. Robbie Gleeson bringing the ball a long way, bringing in James Hunt. It's into the circle, bobbling around. Exeter will clear it away and into space. It did come off a foot, and that is a Beeston ball, looking to go very quickly again. Potentially a little bit too quickly, but possession is maintained. And that's a big pull.
Corner, yeah, they've worked that around quickly. They almost let Exeter back onto the ball again, having the ball fell loose in the D there, but they've turned that back on Exeter and found their way to a penalty corner.
Yeah,
so
certainly you wouldn't have played that if you were drawing it out, but it worked. So yes, certainly the risky almost inviting balls through players' legs. You wouldn't have chosen to do that, but
no.
yes, it has happened. So this is penalty corner number 3 for Beeston. They've already scored from 1. About to inject the ball is going to be Elliot Barton. Had a decent game yesterday, Elliot Barton.
He did. He's a good hard worker. He fulfills his role of pressing and doing all the hard work that forwards off the ball have to do.
Eyes down. So we've got Chris Proctor and Adam Dixon hovering around the outside. Proctor goes with it. It slipped back to Dixon. Dixon!
They've covered that well. That was ball dropped off to Adam Dixon, and his powerful flick from that has been well saved.
Really lost the flight of the ball there, and I think everybody did, because the brightness.
Yeah. This is where I think Beeston needs to have the ball for longer periods, create more unrest in the Exeter defence.
Ball picked up, trying to do the right thing. James Hunt kept the ball in play, delivered it back to Exeter. Dixon wins the ball back, and it's crisply out of defence.
Yeah, Adam Dixon doing a lot of the mopping up work for bits and bobs that are loose in the middle of the park. I think some of the other players need to be looking at that and doing the same sort of thing.
Ball picked up in the air. That's gone
Exeter's way.
Exeter's way indeed. Second half, I must say, when you're sitting in a box talking about 2 games, you'd think that might take a long time. We're nearly halfway through the second game.
It just whizzed
these
by,
games
doesn't it?
have flown by. Great entertainment, courtesy of BeeTV. This is Men's Premier Division Hockey live.
Nicely worked again from Exeter. They do this very nicely. Down to this left-hand side, and there's that position again. They've gone to a number of times, so hopefully the coaching staff are looking at that as an obvious tactic by Exeter. It's won them 2 short corners and had them a run along the baseline, so they've taken that as a way that they feel that they can get at Beeston's defence, which is unusual. Often you see sides trying to do the similar thing on the opposite side, the right-hand side, but it's been more successful for Exeter today to do it on the left.
Number 12 for University of Exeter. Down is Kieran Patel there, trying to really hustle the Beeston defence.
Very good at closing down. Again, we had this from Holcombe yesterday against Beeston players. There's always somebody within a metre of them, allowing them to step in or just keep themselves in the way of the Beeston player, and they've done that very well on that side of the pitch.
We'll see if we can get a word from the far side of the field, but it looks like the two of the chairs for cards have just blown over in the wind. So that's not a good sign.
At least the sun's out.
Yeah, it's sunny. We've got that, and it's not raining, but the wind
for once
not pleasant. It's almost like a weather report sitting in the chapel here sometimes. There we go. There's a view from the side. You can see number 15, Jonas Holtmans, recently returned back to the side. Didn't feature yesterday, but he is very much a part of the match day experience for Beeston today.
A lot of hard work going on from the Beeston forwards, just trying to subdue the way in which Exeter build up their play.
That's crunched in towards the circle, shepherding the ball out of harm's way. It's been played back in, it's loose. Umpire says play on. Very, very busy. You could throw a blanket over half the players up currently on the field.
Making life very difficult for Beeston to get out of these tight areas, and that's because the Exeter players are low to pick the ball up again, and they're quick on restarts.
That's very high. It's going to come down, and that's a penalty corner.
Come off a Beeston stick and gone high, so it's inevitable that Lee Barron will give that as a penalty corner.
So that would be a penalty corner due for the lack of control rather than...
Yeah, it's just, I mean, even though the ball, at the point it was pushed in, was probably a little bit off the floor, the Beeston player needs to get squarely behind that and keep it down. It's come up high. Look,
there it is,
Robbie
yes.
Gleeson. I think Robbie was trying to make the point there that it was too high and should have been blown in his favour, But the action that he's taken there has just led Lee to say, well, you know, you shouldn't be doing that really. That's going to be a penalty corner.
Yeah, it's you could make the argument he was just trying to defend himself.
Yeah.
But it is a penalty corner. And then hovering around the outside as well as Sam Hooper, we've got player down here is Owen Evans.
My concern at this one would be that it took a very good save from Simon Hudgewan last time, so the flick was got away. First one was a goal. So that again, there's a lot of reliance on what the number 1 runner does here.
Another bit of movement around the edge of the circle. Played in low, and another very good low save this time from Simon Hudgewan. Low to his right-hand side, pushes the ball out of play.
He just keep a good eye on that. It was crossing his body. Sometimes it's difficult to see when that happens, but he's seen that very well. Here we go again.
Close control here. Sees the ball out to the right-hand side. Played first time, and things are opening up here. Running with it, Joe Waterston.
I think I'd have liked to see
work.
Seen Joe go a little bit further with that, to take it into an even more dangerous position.
Dan Jackson, 17, with a diving effort to stop Beeston playing it forward. It is in the circle this time. Across the face of goal, umpire's right on it. Play on, says the umpire, not out of harm's way yet. Chopped in, and the umpire has finally said that that is an Exeter ball, approaching half-time. Back stick is the official call.
Yeah, from Joe Sharp. Desperately trying to get his shot away, but body position was pretty awful for that.
Very eager. Always good to see an eager player. And the space in the middle of the field, but everything's going down the left at the moment. It's been pushed forwards towards the baseline. Looked like there was an attempt to generate a penalty corner there.
Yeah.
It's a free hit outside though. Into the circle now. Turn shot. Right on the line. There is a player. And it's high, and it just hits the netting behind the goal.
3 goes at that. A couple of shots very well saved, and then just fell to Chris Proctor a bit awkwardly. He's put that over the bar.
Good positioning on the line, by the way. From that, just if the goalkeeper spills it, you're there on hand to tap it into an open goal. Healthy crowd as well today. Hello to you if you're watching it back. Give yourself a wave if you're watching on a catch-up. Always time for one more attack. This time it's flicked towards the centre, taken down nicely. Goalkeeper has to come out and clean everything out and gets a solid boot on it. It's come back to Joe Sharp. Sharp out to the right-hand side. Flicked up 3D skills and into the circle. Shooting opportunity.
Oh.
Goalkeeper does extremely well with the left foot.
Great first-time shot, but the keeper, again, saw it well, nicely in line with the shot. Made a good save. Good attempt from Beeston.
Player on the floor. It is a Beeston ball. That's an intelligent pass out. It will be nudged in play still. Played towards the goal. Umpire right on it as ever. Time for another Beeston ball.
Chris Proctor in control of that, but very close to the keeper. Didn't have a lot of space to work with. Still the pressure's there for Beeston.
A little bit of a coming together. Quick check of the watch. We are about 10 seconds away from half time. At half time we can check our notes and make sure who is playing. And that is it. The ball has been picked up. It is half time. Beeston 1, Exeter 1. Goals coming from Beeston's Gareth Griffiths, making it 1-0. Sam Hooper equalising from a penalty corner, making it all square. Good entertainment, good skill, good value for money. Beeston 1, University of Exeter 1. Goal scorer information on your screen. A quick look at the other games before we break off for half time. Earlier today, it's official. This is the result. Brooklands Manchester University 1, Holcombe 1. live. Old Georgians 0, Hampstead and Westminster 2 now. As we're watching Beeston 1, Exeter University 1, Reading 0, Wimbledon 1, and it's very early in that game as well. Bad news for Reading, and they're just underway as well. East Grinstead 0, Surbiton 0. We'll keep an eye on all of those games. Is there anything else going on in the women's games as well? We'll quickly check that before we head off for our half-time break. So it's Surbiton 1, Holcombe 1. Halfway through that one, it finished Clifton Robinson's 2, Buckingham 3. And a big result, Birmingham University 3, Loughborough Students 1. Elsewhere, East Grinstead 2, Hampstead and Westminster 1 is a result. And earlier on, as you would have seen on BeeTV, Beeston 3, Bowdon Hightown 2. You're watching BeeTV. We'll return with second half coverage live in around about 7 minutes' time. So the teams are making their way back out for the start of the second half. A flurry of activity. We're able to bring you the match information as promised very quickly. Everyone has made it onto the field of play so far. I won't give you all the names, but there on your screen is the match information. You can see the little blue boxes on it. Gareth Griffiths scoring in the first quarter, also equalising in the first quarter, Sam Hooper for University of Exeter. Those are your players today. So, getting us underway for the start of the second half, Dan Jackson is on the ball for University of Exeter. We're waiting for the official get underway. Usual question, what have you said to your teams?
Well, I think the last Beeston would have been quite encouraged by the last 5 minutes of that last quarter. A few attacking opportunities there. They need to keep that kind of pressure going. Taylor Seeger-Green in goal for Exeter has been on form, and he's made some very good saves there, so he's going to need to keep his concentration levels high. And Beeston just need to make sure that they take some of this possession domination out of Exeter, because their build-up play was very good, I thought, in that first half.
So just a reminder, it's Beeston in the dark shirts and Exeter in the white shirts with the green sleeves. Exeter heading towards and attacking the boulevard end to the right of your screen, and of course Beeston attacking towards the left, which is the car park end, slightly less glamorous end than the boulevard end, but
yes.
That's the one they prefer to attack, isn't it, in the second half?
It is. See, build-up play again, straight into it. Exeter doing the same sort of good work there, ball into that part of the D that we keep talking about. Making Beeston concentrate a little bit more. I'm sure Stephen Wood will have talked to them about getting tighter on those forwards, not letting them pick the ball up and turn and face the goal.
Crookshanks 23, checks back on himself.
I was getting a little bit torn between wanting to be progressive and forward playing and making sure he retained possession a couple of times there.
Nice twist and turn, however, his path towards the ball has been blocked. George Carson doing his best to win the ball back. It has been turned over again in a difficult position. Beeston comfortable in defence at the moment. Flick ball out, taken down, kept in very neatly as well. Crookshanks involved an awful lot in this opening section of the second half.
Exeter doing very well at breaking the lines and breaking up the lines of play that Beeston can use.
Here he is, Crookshanks again, instrumental. That's a ball played in towards the circle, although not quite on the same wavelength. I think Joe Waterston was.
Those are those sorts of connections that if you watch the likes of Surbiton in particular play, they will always make those connections. A wide player into a player in an inside channel, make sure that connection happens, because it's going to open up lots of routes into the D. Beeston missed that connection.
Shallow ball. Now, has this been kept in? Yes, it has. Nice interception and winning the ball back really well, Ollie Willars. Just that little reach out and grab of the ball.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Long levers, Ollie, tall lad.
Also, not multiple attempts, one single.
Yeah.
Yep, that's my ball, thank you very much. With it,
Exeter doing their transfer work again. Back in a possession mode again. Very good move.
Flipped all the way through, and it's going to be a Beeston defensive hit. Giving you more opportunity to nominate your player of the match. It could be a Beeston player, it could be an Exeter player. At official BHC, if you can tweet us with your nomination for player of the match. It could be an Exeter player, it could be a Beeston player who has stood out for you. Turned over on halfway and won back again very quickly. With it, Toby Stanley. Towards the baseline goes Chris Proctor. Proctor turns, tries to whip the ball in. It's loose and fired across the face of goal. Hands to his head. All the power, but slightly not quite the right direction.
Yes, I think if you watch, again, we just referred to Surbiton, if you watch somebody like Alan Forsyth in those kind of positions, a lot of control to make sure he gets that on target. Toby Stanley scoring goals yesterday for Beeston, somebody I think who's going to progress nicely. Good position there for him. A little bit more care, could have had the goal.
Got a quick note about to the production team about our connection to the other side of the field. Hopefully we can reconnect that in a moment or two.
Our connections are as bad as the players on the pitch then.
So I think it must just be that time of the day where you've had one half and you've now got new instructions or revised game plan, and you're trying to implement that and remove some of those
gremlins. Yeah. Dangerous little moment there for Exeter, which they've got away with. Very, very close to turning that ball over in quite a last man deep defence position, but they've got away with that.
Nice turn, nice collection as well. And I think he might have overrun that a bit, and it's presented the opportunity to win the ball back for Beeston. Although it's not out of harm's way yet, and Exeter might have a bit of an overload in the right-hand side of the circle.
Well, this really is a mess at the minute. If that came to anything, that would be terrible, because Beeston have had every opportunity there to tidy that up.
Everywhere you looked, there was a risk of giving away a penalty corner.
There was.
From that point of view, Beeston have come out of that very well indeed, but it was all very edgy stuff.
Looking for those players to have really good basic skills to keep that ball for themselves. A number of times Beeston have had the ball in dangerous parts of the pitch, but their basic skills have just let them down. They've not retained possession, they've not made the connecting pass.
We just saw there a mass substitution via Exeter University. More fresh legs on the field of play, changing things up, keeping their high intensity brand of hockey up and running. But there goes Chris Proctor, shielding it well, waiting for a teammate to become available, so he decided to go back and maintain possession. Absolutely the right thing to do.
Yeah. There's always that temptation to try to take that ball through the midfield, but I think there were too many Exeter players there blocking his path.
Stephen Lawrence. That ball is intercepted. It was almost Lawrence to Lawrence, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Richard was caught behind his defender.
Picked up in the middle, and that has been lost.
Missed pass again, yet another missed pass.
Little step in there. Joe Sharp nudges the ball out of play. Exeter ball. Exeter goes shallow, looking to find the corner flag. It's been knocked out of play. Arms in the air, and Exeter go from the sideline very quickly into the circle. Now is that... We're going back again from the side. I thought that was going to be a free hit,
yes,
but it looks like it is a free.
Yep. Neither side really stamping their authority on the possession.
Notched out of play. This has not been a vintage 7 minutes or so, has it?
No, it's more about who's going to make the least errors at the moment, and that's sort of dictating the play. But sooner or later, you want one of the sides to step up and show that they can possess the ball for longer periods. And I think whichever side does that is going to have more success.
Getting their triangles together.
Could a turnover again? I mean, how many times is that going to happen?
Reece Bradshaw for the visitors, playing it very quickly forward, trying to bring more players in. That's on the left-hand side of the circle. Finally, a decisive Beeston stick stops the progress forward, but it has gone out of play again. So Exeter University,
trying to feed that ball out to Lucas Ward, who's actually facing the wrong way at that point, and it's very difficult for him to trap it. It's back with Exeter, a transfer again to the right-hand side.
Yep, via Sam Hooper, the goal scorer, who's lingering back at the moment. Shot towards goal, big appeal for a penalty corner. Hooper plays the ball up in the air, no infringement. Play continues. Hooper goes to ground, Beeston have possession, but can they get it towards halfway? Not at this occasion, but they do have the free hit.
I think Stephen Wood would have good grounds for being critical of some of the choices that the Beeston players are making on outletting at the moment. It's not really helping them to keep giving the ball away in the middle of the park.
Look at that run to try and bring the pressure. Charlie Taylor bringing the pace into the defence.
But you can't fault Exeter's work closing down these gaps.
Indeed, defending from the front. That's the
Yeah,
point
definitely.
I was trying to make there. Charlie Taylor very quickly try and close down any route out of Beeston's defence. Although Beeston over halfway from what I think is the first time in the second half, or it certainly feels like it.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. That's another turnover just when everything was in Beeston's favour. They've got away with that.
Now played very quickly forward, and it is an
Wasted.
Exeter ball.
Yep. Look at the prowling actions of Stephen Wood in the dugout there.
Yeah, Stephen Wood is the figure to the left of the dugout that we're looking at in the grey jacket. I think he's certainly he's not saying anything, but he's giving off the vibes.
He will be doing that, yes.
Is that going to be kept in? It has been kept in very close to the corner flag.
Speed with which Adam Dixon got to that ball. Again, a lesson for the other defenders to work very quickly onto the ball.
And that is a penalty corner for the away side. First of the second half. We already know that they're going to be quite effective from what we've seen in the first half. Let's have a look at how that penalty corner was achieved. So it was a ball out. There was a slip there which left the ball being played in. I think, did it come off Gareth Griffiths?
It did, yes. I think he was retreating, trying to get into a defensive position, but wasn't in the right body shape. And I think that corner's been coming for 2 or 3 minutes when you look at the amount of times that Beeston have actually had the ball, given it back to Exeter. Sooner or later that sort of evolves into moments like this, shots on goal and corners. Dangerous moment for Beeston.
Simon Hudgman has already defended several of these, including 2 very, very good saves for the highlight reel. 1 high and 1 low. So it's not always going to come in the same place.
No.
So there's plenty of choice. Bearing in mind that around the outside, so we've got Sam Hooper, and just a little bit further back is Kieran Walton. Will there be a shuffle? No, it's going to be a static one. It's been slipped back in. It's bouncing. It's a swing. And it's a miss.
Yeah, didn't execute it quite right. It was, I think, a bit of a let-off for Beeston there. They really need to just look at how they build this ball to the other end of the pitch, because Exeter have done such a good job of stopping them create build-up play.
From your point of view, why did that penalty corner go wrong? Was it too elaborate, or was it a good Beeston defence?
I think it was just the once it had been moved, they weren't quite on it right. They just misflicked it.
Beeston, though, racing towards the circle, tapped in, and just on the outside long corner. I think the goalkeeper must have been involved there again.
Toby Stanley again in a dangerous position. That's twice this half he's been, or this quarter he's been there. Maybe that's an omen.
Ball in the light on the right-hand side as Beeston look to attack the car park end.
If this is going to be transferred, it needs to be quick, but Exeter have stepped in the line between the 2 defenders. Thankfully, they've got that past.
Stephen Lawrence passes it out to the left-hand side. Road 1 challenge, checks back, and it has been mopped up from Exeter.
Yeah, showing too much of the ball to the Exeter defence.
And it's going to be a free hit for the visitors. This, I'll say it again, this hasn't been a vintage quarter, but it has gone very quickly.
Yeah.
Bit of stick to stick there. Play continues, and it's been nudged out of play. Exeter ball on the side. Beeston started very brightly, and I think that equalising goals knocked the stuffing out of them.
Yeah, I think that's right. It's so important to maintain your discipline, particularly after you've scored. Sides are the most dangerous at that phase of a game. Once you've scored, you're vulnerable.
Yeah, just breaking off there for a second. The ball coming in and been tapped behind for a long corner. Exeter looking dangerous again. Approaching minute number 50.
Just Proctor trying his best there to disturb things, but
that looks like it's going to be a free hit for Exeter. This is looking like another one of those spells where they're camped for 2 to 3 minutes in that final quarter of the field. Flicked up. Another long. Oh no, it's not. It's going to be a defensive hit if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
So how can Beeston really get their teeth into this final portion of the game?
Well, I think the first thing is that when they're in this position here, they've got to make sure that they connect their passes, particularly through the midfield. Don't rush them and hurry the forward pass to the point where you allow Exeter to pick the ball up. So it needs to be quite calm, keep possession for a bit longer than usual. There's a great example. I mean, that's just not going to make any Beeston player, because nobody's leading back towards the ball.
Towards the baseline again. That's a good interception. No foul. Although
another
turnover achieved again. Two Beeston players going for the ball. And it looks like it's going to be another series of fresh legs. We can see 8 and 5. That's Owen Evans and number 8 George Carson for Exeter University will break off.
Bit more space here.
To attack. Into the circle. Umpire looking at it. Player goes to ground. Beeston still with the ball. Can they get a penalty corner out of it? Can they get a shot on goal? I think they're fancying the shot, and this time
he's lifted that
to naught.
He's got around the lead defender and he's just lifted it, and space in the middle of the park. Players not looking. It's interesting. Always look at the ball when you're travelling forward. Quick restart that was possibly on there couldn't be given because the player wasn't looking at the Stephen Lawrence.
Space has opened up in the middle. Dixon tries to play the ball through, but the defence from Exeter was there at the right time. That's a slip and play continues.
Surprised they got away with that, but really, really weak pass forwards straight onto the Exeter players. Open stick.
Involved again, Matthew Cruikshanks.
He's probably getting tired. He's done more work than anybody on the pitch this quarter.
Certainly he's been very, very busy. He's moved in from the left-hand side to a more central position. And Beeston look for that penalty corner and have it.
Yeah, shallow. They started the cross-pitch transfer and then changed direction, went straight towards the top of the D. And that slight change of style of build-up has actually led to the Exeter foot.
Well, as I'm hearing from the other side of the field, I think it was lifted into the body. We'll turn for certain. I think it was off the number 4 into the body. So,
but it's that change of style that sometimes leads to a bit of uncertainty. Defences can get used to how you build up sometimes, and that means that they find it easier to get a defensive shape. When things change, you've got potential.
Yeah, look at the. So this is the end of the third quarter, so this is additional. So it's either going to end up in a Beeston goal or we'll end up 1-1 at the end of this quarter.
Yeah.
So this is why the players were being called forward here, because there is no risk of an equalising goal here. As soon as the ball's gone out of play, it's all over for the quarter. So we've got a mass of Beeston players. Can they turn this into a real opportunity to take the lead again? It is out. Dixon. And that's bounced away. It's been kept in the circle. Fired in again low. And that's a defensive hit, and that ends the quarter.
Lee Barron sees that as the end of the quarter.
So well. So if we can see a look at that penalty corner attempt again, that could be pretty handy if we got a replay on that. No, we don't have that one. So what we will do is have a quick look around the grounds as well, bringing you up to speed with the comings and goings in the rest of the competition in both the men's and women's competition. So East Grinstead 0, Surbiton 2. They're about at the halfway mark there. A big surprise or not so. Surbiton still running away with the title for the season. Reading 1, Wimbledon 1. Massive goal for Reading.
Yes, yeah.
Enormous goal, and they're approaching half-time there. According to this, we're in half-time at the match we're currently at. Beeston 1, Exeter University 1. Rest assured we are at three-quarter time. Old Georgians 1, Hampstead and Westminster 2 is the latest score, with around a whole quarter still to go, and Brooklands Manchester University 1, Holcombe 1 is the final score from earlier on. For the women, this is the way things look. There it is. Earlier today, you missed a classic. Beeston 3, Bowdon Hightown 2, East Grinstead 2, Hampstead Westminster 1 is a result. So is Birmingham University 3, Loughborough Students 1, big result. Clifton Robinson's 2, Buckingham 3. Clifton Robinson's having a torrid time of it at the moment, and Surbiton 2, Holcombe 1. Focusing on accurate passing was the message passed to the Beeston players. Do you agree with that?
Definitely. We talked about that as we were going through the quarter, and I think there's been too many examples of balls played straight from Beeston's point of view to Exeter players. They probably have a similar criticism in a way. So I think it's that precision that's missing.
So, theme from Rocky has come to a close. Hopefully the players are inspired and ready and raring to go for what promises to be a very dramatic final 17.5 minutes. Already that call for accurate passing hasn't been
Did you
heeded.
see that pass from across the midfield? That was a terrible way to try and get that ball to connect. It just didn't have enough power on it or accuracy, and it should have been a very easy feed into the progressing Beeston player.
Also, it looks at the speed on the Exeter players. It looks like someone's wound them up at three-quarter time. So it looks like there's extra energy being found by the Exeter players. It's a ball across and behind everybody and out at the sideline. We've got a couple of balls on the field here, which isn't going to help everybody.
Need to be very busy in the D, particularly when crosses are coming in. Forwards need to anticipate where they think that cross might be, like Holcombe did yesterday with their deflected goals.
Indeed, I'm just looking at this attack build down the right-hand side for Beeston. Now this is where the accurate passing comes in, and again, accurate passing was not there.
Laid across to the top of the D from the right-hand side without any thought about where the player might be able to get on the end of that.
Just for the record, if the match stays the same, there's not been a draw on the score sheet for Beeston since the 2-2 away with Holcombe, and that was on the 10th of November. For University of Exeter, they had a 2-2 against East Grinstead at home on the 1st of December. So draw's not a feature in both of these teams. Let's break off again. That's a chance.
Oh,
and
dear.
That has just nearly cleared the top of the fence, and I was
What a lovely
concerned.
move to get to a shooting position, and just that reverse stick shot skill not executed well enough, really. Another insurance claim in the car park, probably.
Oh. Fortunately, I can see where I've parked, so that everything should be all right there. But on the promising side, that is better.
Yeah, the build-up play was good.
So, accurate passing the thing, and then possession gifted again to Duncan Scott.
Lucas Ward running out of steam there, it looked like, as he was trying to get close to the ball.
Archie Winter plays the ball into the circle, pops up, and it's out for a long corner.
Oh, for a short corner, you'd be arguing here for either side now, because they don't either team seems to be able to build up a goal-scoring opportunity. There might be one here.
That's hit the frame of the goal on the outside, and it's going to be a defensive hit out for Beeston. You heard it crunch there.
Yes, into the sideboard, outside of the sideboard.
So let's count how many passes that Beeston can get in succession. So Proctor on the ball, so that's 3.
That's 3, yeah. 4.
5. So of course this is going to be a sequence where they end up scoring. So that's 6. 7.
This is the zone where they sort of get into trouble. So easy to hold it at the moment, but to create something positive going forward is where Exeter have been good at breaking up the patterns.
We're up to 11. 12 and over halfway, and that looks like it's been a successful pass for 12. But finally Exeter can get a stick on it. Beeston though maintain the pressure with the ball in the circle.
Oh
That's a
dear, look at that.
little ball.
Come on forwards, have a good look around at where that might go to.
So that was almost like a glorious opportunity, naming lights, that sort of ball,
Yes,
if you were running onto it. And that you would have had enough time to steady yourself and choose the bit of net that you wanted to hit.
Probably the most open build-up we've seen for a while.
Flip ball forward. Ball now on the floor, nudged along. Beeston ball in front of the Beeston bench. So, would you say that's a byproduct or a direct result of that passing sequence, that opportunity?
I think so, yeah. I think, you know, we've talked about holding the ball for longer periods to build up your patterns moving forward and do it under control rather than rushing things, and it did lead to a chance. Similarly here, Chris Proctor's managed to hang on to that.
Let's have a look at it. He's gone to ground, and that is a free hit outside of the circle. Most of his body was in it, but it is outside.
Just looking at the forwards here.
How many players all in shot there at one time? That does mean, though, look at the pace, though, from University of Exeter, and that's well won back on halfway, but Beeston have been penalised, and it will be a free hit. They're looking to go along the floor towards the centre. Duncan Scott with a head cap on. In towards the circle, and that's beyond everybody. It looked a lot closer, but it drifted out towards the edge of the circle.
Yeah, there was space there for Exeter. They'll be almost as critical as Beeston have been about their connections, because there was a chance for a pick-up in the D. Didn't quite come off for them. Yeah, nice connection. That's lovely.
And then quickly through that third quarter
Oh
of the field,
dear, come on lads, work harder. That has to be hard work to the ball. You should know that that's what's going to happen. Even in here, Andy, sometimes it's hard not to show your frustrations with things.
Yes, although Barton's redeemed himself there by winning the ball back.
That's better.
This is good, and that's hit a body. And so it's going to be a Beeston ball, very central. They're looking to go quickly into the circle. Turn, turn, turn. Chance on goal. Oh, and flash wide of the upright. Long corner, another interception.
Yes,
or another important touch from a defensive stick.
You can't fault Exeter's willingness to try and get in the way of everything. They've done very well at that today.
Willars into the circle. Snapping back into it. One in the air by Captain Dixon. Dixon receives it again.
Oh. Come on. Unlucky. You can see this resilience that Exeter have developed in the last 2 or 3 weeks. It's their fight away from the bottom of the league, and they're doing it very well.
Indeed, it wouldn't be unfair to describe the first half of their season and the performances being a bit fragile, and we've not seen that today. This has been a strong, determined and organised performance from the visitors. Appeal for something, and it is a Beeston ball into the final 10. I don't want to give a silly question like who's going to win this, because that's quite basic, but can you see another goal is the question.
It's going to come down to who can deal with this build-up play. Beeston have shown some signs of it being a little bit better. Again, as I say that, the ball goes off the back of the pitch. They're going to need to be more dominant in possession in Exeter's half than they've been by a long chalk. But equally, Exeter have shown a few signs that on counter-attack they can be dangerous as well, so it could be anybody's game, really.
Nice turn. Alex Sweet takes the ball over halfway and plays it forward. Player goes to ground, and it's an attacking ball forward.
Really good restart. Exeter's speed of restart there has taken them another 10 metres further forwards.
Duncan Scott plays it back. Kieran Walton with the ball across. Beeston really throwing everything into trying to win this ball back, and a couple of players going to ground to try and anticipate the blocks.
Literally chasing shadows at the moment.
And that's just been missed. A miscontrol in the edge of the circle. That was from a very promising position as well. Very fortunate Beeston there. They could have been under an awful lot of pressure if they had connected. Dixon takes the ball, decides to flick it towards halfway, and that is decent. However, who's there first?
Pace issue again. I'd like to see Beeston player be able to get a bit quicker to that ball.
With it, Joe Sharp. Joe Sharp goes.
This needs to be something.
Forward. Play carries on. Is this a shot? It is wide of the wide of everyone. Can this be kept in play? Good run, and that's a slide. That's been knocked out.
Come to nothing again. Another opportunity at the edge of the D. Exeter's resilience once again.
Flung forward, and that's a bit of shoulder to shoulder. Umpire says nothing wrong with that. All being at the very edge of the field, smashed towards the goal, but it is already gone.
Yep, Beeston ball.
The attacking player making a stick block, so possession's been turned over to Beeston.
Well, the dilemma, of course, is that you want to win the game, but if you overcommit to that, you could leave yourself exposed. So they've got to take good care of the ball.
At the moment, it's a decent point. At the start of the game, of course, you're wanting the 3, but does it feel like taking the 1? If both teams could do that, it would actually be a good point to win, rather than 3 points potentially not won.
Yes.
But anything can happen in the next 7 minutes. 3 points are precious for both teams.
Adam Dixon through the space.
Really making things happen around the edge of the circle, although he's been picked off as well. Very congested. It looks like, I said this before, certainly the Exeter players, now the Beeston players, look like they've had new batteries.
Yeah, the Exeter guys get very tight in defence. Look, there's hardly any space to work with through there. You're probably only left with a transfer, and even if you go back the same side again, there's plenty of defenders in the line of passes into the D. Bit of weak touch on the ball there from, I think that's Ollie, Ollie Willars.
Crisp ball forward. There is no one in a white shirt, so who will get there first? That's booted towards halfway, and that's an intelligent use of the ball. I've got to say, it looked maybe a little bit uncultured, but that was a very good pass with the foot.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Real end-to-end stuff now cropping up. It's you know, coming up to 5 minutes to go.
Indeed, with 5 minutes to go, one more call for your player of the match nominations. Tweet us at @officialBHC. Who has stood out for you? For my money, I think it's between the 2 goalkeepers.
Yeah, yes, I think the saves that Simon Hudran's made, and certainly Taylor Seager-Green's control of things that Beeston have had on target has been good. I think that if there's a goal in the next 5 minutes, whoever gets it's going to end up the winner. Chris Proctor on a good run here.
Proctor passes the ball through.
Oh dear, forwards, really.
Richard Lawrence just couldn't bring it under his spell.
Basics, at that point you really have to be focused on collecting that ball. Doing it for the team, making sure that all the effort that was gone into that by Chris Proctor comes to something.
Nice turn. Duncan Scott, although he's robbed in turn, possession is gifted back to Beeston via the umpire's whistle. So 3.5 minutes, or 4.5 minutes if my maths GCSE holds up. Griffiths battling for possession. I think that ball's popped right out of the field. So we're getting a ball from the side. Support's coming up.
Everybody a bit too close there. Needs to be creating a bit more space. That's
Sharp's
better.
ball in to Griffiths, who's already scored 1 today. Dixon. That's better. Now let's see if that pass can be found out to the right-hand side. It is. Build up and triangles from Beeston is improving. And they have a free hit here. Decent head of steam being built up here from the hosts.
Need a corner from this.
Into the circle, or maybe they can go better.
Oh dear.
A defensive hit for
Goodness me,
Exeter.
Exeter have done well there to stop that. That should be a guaranteed penalty corner from that kind of a position.
Wonder what the view is from the other side of the field. It's a solid stick in defence, blocking the ball through. Time running out for both sides to find a winner here. Short pass forward. The passing and the desire from Beeston is there now. It feels like it's a little bit late on.
Yeah, just those moments in the opposition's D. Composure, control, basics.
At the moment they can't get over halfway and it's been robbed.
Tired from Robbie Gleeson there, I think. Very static on the ball. It's allowed Exeter.
A long corner. So with it, Kieran Patel stands over it, decides to leave it to a teammate. The space is on the right-hand side, but Beeston happy to let Exeter have that. Try and pick the ball off further up the field. To the baseline. Free hit. Beeston retreat. Alex Sweet. Sure he will get the ball back in a second. Lifted the ball up and it's gone out of play. So less than 2 minutes remain.
Same as yesterday, really, Andy, looking for that goal in the last 2 minutes if possible. But
and that's
again, Robbie Gleeson caught.
He's come a long way with it and he's gone around his man and it's over halfway. Who's up there in a black shirt to support? It's been nipped off him, so it's a sideline ball for Gleeson. Gleeson plays it along first time.
Skills from Chris Proctor.
Proctor towards the circle. And that's a
Penalty
big appeal,
corner.
and it is a penalty corner with 90 seconds on the clock. The ball lifted into the body of the defender, into the Beeston player is the official word. So let's have a look at it again.
Good turn from Chris Proctor, driving at the D. Yeah, lifted, I think, off the Exeter defender's stick.
So, less than 60 seconds now remain. This is probably going to be it. What do you do? Do you go for power or do you go for routine?
Well, they've got Richard Lawrence. I think is Richard Lawrence there.
Number 17, Richard Lawrence.
Yeah, they've used him and a deflection. Whether they'll go to Richard, I don't know. Adam Dixon's there as well, but whoever takes it's going to have to be quick onto the trap and to take that ball away from the trapper quickly and make sure that they can beat or get a flick off ahead of that number 1 runner.
So Dixon slightly further back, Lawrence resting on his stick as well. So 2 obvious candidates there. The trap is good, Dixon low, and it is! It's a winner for sure! They have done it.
Well, another deflection.
Chris Proctor is the goal scorer, we're hearing.
Yes, yeah, that's... well, they haven't been able to flick it straight in, but the 2 deflections they've scored have been excellent.
In the context of the season, a massive, massive goal.
Definitely.
They are back off and underway live, so we will cut off from the replay.
That is very cruel for Exeter, very cruel, because they've worked so hard for that.
And I think that is it. The umpire is shaking hands. Exeter players sink to their knees. We were going to get that 3rd goal after all, and it is a Beeston winner. Chris Proctor popping up with a winner. How about that?
Don't see many goals scored that late on. I know that they can be scored in the last 5 minutes, but that was almost the last touch of the game.
It was exceptionally late. I think that's the wins now. They're the latest goal of the season for Beeston. I know they've had some late goals. I know there was a penalty stroke from Adam Dixon late on against Brooklands earlier in the season.
That's right, yes.
Chris Proctor scoring, number 21. He's now on to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 goals for the season, popping up with a winner. The story of the game as the players are shaking hands, bringing the match information on the screen. It's not coming up, so I can tell you it was a goal from Gareth Griffiths that made it 1-0 in the first quarter, equalising from a penalty corner as well. Sam Hooper making it 1-1. The winning goal coming from Chris Proctor from the work of Adam Dixon. All 3 goals coming from penalty corners today. What did that tell us?
Well, I think that the tight defence from Exeter was, you could see, was very difficult. I'm sure that's their resilience over the last few weeks and it's got them the points that has helped them away from the bottom of the league. I think Beeston will be disappointed with some of the connecting passes, just as they were yesterday against Holcombe. But the result's the right one as far as Bees fans are concerned.
Certainly is. A word from Exeter there. I don't think Taylor Seeger Green and the Exeter goal deserve to be on the losing side, but
certainly
sometimes
not.
It works like that.
That's right, yeah. He played very well.
Great work from both goalkeepers. We'll go for shall we decide a player of the match? Which one player stood out then?
Well, I was just looking at the... I thought Robbie Gleeson played very well in the first half. He was very tired in the second half. I think Simon Hudjwan's saves were crucial, but for me it was Chris Proctor. I think his energy throughout has led to his goal at the end, and I'm pleased for him on that basis.
So Chris Proctor gets your player of the match, and I suppose scoring the winner doesn't harm your favourite, your chances of winning player of the match. We will finish with a quick look at some of the other fixtures that are going around. Next time is BeeTV, the men versus Wimbledon. Very unusual to say, Saturday the 29th of February. It will be the men versus Wimbledon here, another big game. Wimbledon currently sitting in second place in the table. So East Grinstead 0, Surbiton 4, Surbiton rumbling on in their path towards securing, well, I think they have now secured a top 4 finish and into the playoffs. Reading 1, Wimbledon 2. Big goal for Wimbledon, that, or in the context of Reading's season. Reading needing to get back on terms. They were level in that 1-1-1. It's still saying Beeston 1, Exeter University 1, but I can tell you for sure it's finished Beeston 2, Exeter University 1. Old Georgians 1, Hampstead and Westminster 3, and moments away from that finishing. So Hampstead and Westminster look like they're going to potentially leapfrog, go further away from Old Georgians. Earlier today, Brooklands Manchester University 1, Holcombe 1. A quick look at the women's fixtures if we could, and that will bring our thing to a close here. So still all finished in the women's matches. Earlier on today, you missed a classic. Beeston 3, Bowdon Hightown 2, East Grinstead 2, Hampstead and Westminster 1, Birmingham University 3, Loughborough Students 1, Clifton Robinsons 2, Buckingham 3, and it's finished a close one, Surbiton 2, Holcombe 1. Steve Musson, thank you very much for sitting beside me today. We are back on BeeTV next Saturday afternoon. We'll be on from about 1:45, men versus Wimbledon, and from all of us here at BeeTV, hopefully you enjoyed the service and the presentation for you today. And it's 2 Bees wins on a sunny Sunday here in Nottingham from BeeTV. Have a good afternoon.
So there'll be no drop off in pace or intensity from them. They'll work hard right the way through the game.
It's a diagonal ball, nicely taken down in the circle. Chance here. It's been picked up, and that is
in a corner.
On the edge of the circle, we've got 6 players. 4 around the edge and a little bit further
Richard
back.
Lawrence is in there. I'm interested to see whether they might use him. Here we go.
It is Lawrence, low and into the goal. Yes. And it looks like Griffiths, who has
deflected.
Touched it in.
Yeah, reverse stick deflection. Now that's an opportunity there. Ollie Willars missed the trap. The ball fell loose in the D. Little dangerous bits and bobs like that. Take care on the basics.
With the ball, James Ferguson plays it out to the left-hand side, into the circle, looking for something, and that has been found. Obvious collection of players around the edge of the circle, but that is not necessarily where the ball's going to go. It could go shallow. Bit of movement. It is going to the centre, played in, and that is the equaliser. Celebrating is Sam Hooper.
Well, he's already scored. In his mind, the injury he had. So that's a great start. I would imagine he'd been played sparingly, but to get the goal, brilliant.
Here come Exeter University, and that's a penalty corner.
Yeah, this is costing Beeston a bit, this left side of the D for the attackers.
Penalty corner in a couple of minutes of play here. So all eyes, you can see the tall figure of Sam Hooper.
Need the number 1 runner to get this right, get his line right here.
Another shuffle to the left, same player again. That's an excellent, excellent save from Simon Hudjwan in the Beeston goal. It's into the circle, bobbling around. Exeter will clear it away and into space. It did come off a foot, and that is a Beeston ball, looking to go very quickly again. Potentially a little bit too quickly, but possession is maintained. And that's a big pull.
Corner, yeah, they've...
Towards the centre, taken down nicely. Goalkeeper has to come out and clean everything out and gets a solid boot on it. It's come back to Joe Sharp. Sharp out to the right-hand side. Flicked up 3D skills and into the circle. Shooting opportunity.
Oh.
Goalkeeper does extremely well with the left foot.
Great first-time shot, but the keeper, again...
Turned over on halfway and won back again very quickly with it. Toby Stanley. Towards the baseline goes Chris Proctor. Proctor turns, tries to whip the ball in. It's loose and fired across the face of goal. Hands to his head. All the... It has been kept in very close to the corner flag.
Speed with which Adam Dixon got to that ball. Again, a lesson for the other defenders to work very quickly onto the ball.
And that is a penalty corner for the away side. First of the second half. We already know around the outside, so we've got Sam Hooper, and just a little bit further back is Kieran Walton. Will there be a shuffle? No, it's going to be a static one. It's been slipped back in, it's bouncing, it's a swing, and it's a miss.
Yeah,
involved again, Matthew Cruikshanks.
He's probably getting tired. He's done more work than anybody on the pitch this quarter.
Certainly he's been very, very busy. He's moved in from the left-hand side to a more central position, and Beeston look for that penalty corner and have it.
I think that if there's a goal in the next 5 minutes, whoever gets it's going to end up the winner. Is Proctor on a good run here?
Proctor passes the ball through.
Oh dear, forwards really.
Richard Lawrence just couldn't bring it under his spell.
Basics at that point, you really have to be focused on.
Halfway. Who's up there in a black shirt to support? It's been nipped off him, so it's a sideline ball for Gleeson. Gleeson plays it along first time.
Skills from Chris Proctor.
Proctor towards the circle, and that's a big appeal, and it is a penalty corner with 90 seconds on the clock.
And make sure that they can beat, they'll get a flick off ahead of that #1 runner.
So Dixon slightly further back, Lawrence resting on his stick as well. So two obvious candidates there. The trap is good, Dixon low, and it is! It's a winner for sure!
Well, another